post-match press conference of the match between...
Sometimes people have sex in different ways. 69. And one way is a type of sex called oral sex.
It's really good. You know,
I don't particularly enjoy it.
set the right tone, set the standards.
No, it's not one of my favorites.
And knowledge and also experience from different people. And
Only if you're doing it right.
I am very good.
Every man thinks he knows which positions women love, but most are completely wrong.
Hey, Spencer Dirty says, catch a live stream is like finding a leprechaun. With my schedule, glad to finally make it. Glad you are here. Welcome to the Straight Red Card. Yeah, there are a few things to talk about tonight for sure. No doubt about it.
A couple of things, yeah.
By the way, Wayo's back, so that was not a serious injury.
Hooray!
Yay.
Oh, you're mixing in that. You know, you have players that are leaving injured this weekend, but fortunately, like with Chris Richards, it was just like a slight roll of the ankle.
Should be fine.
Should be good.
Although Wayo did play again and did pretty meh again.
Well, it's fine. As long as he remains healthy, I don't give a rat's ass. What happened with Dark Brendan? Is he going to be okay? What's happening there?
Should be. It didn't look very serious to me, but then again, I was watching it live, and I didn't think it looked bad at the time, but I could be wrong. I haven't heard that it's horrible. You would think that would have come up on my Leeds feeds, but it didn't. Maybe Leeds fans don't care. There's that. I don't know.
We're going to talk about more in depth here too, but there's apparently some rumors spreading via Edgar. Malachi Banks is a candidate for the World Cup roster.
Yeah, Rob, I don't know how 100% that is yet. It's something to consider, certainly.
Well,
and we'll be talking about it. So,
well, and I mean, what I've got the rumor pulled up. What does it really say? I'm hearing that there may be a possibility. Well, of course. I mean, I'm sure Poach is keeping that door open. But again, we can get into that later.
Well, he didn't shut the door, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He just said, hey, the dude's making a decision. We're going to let him do it. He didn't say, hey, fuck that guy or anything like that. I honestly thought based on his prior narrative, his prior discussions, his pressers, that because he has said this so many times, if you want to play for us, we don't want you. He's literally fucking said that.
He's lessened on that front, though, because I quite frankly think he looked at our center back depth after a couple of handful of windows and went,
you mean after he tried Tristan Blackman for 2
like
games?
maybe I do gotta go polish his pewter for him,
Not that Tristan Blackman's playing poorly for Vancouver, because he certainly is not playing poorly. He's been playing very well. So
in his defense, and I'm not saying I'm a big Tristan Blackman fan, but he didn't play badly for us either. So I'm not saying he should be called up. I'm just saying
no, he wasn't garbage at all.
Yeah.
He wasn't. I know. I mean, some people think he was, but that's okay. You're allowed to think that. By the way, they were talking about, like, we still don't know why the Neanderthals disappeared. And now they're thinking that it could be inbreeding. I don't know about that, Brett, because it seems to me, so unlike humans, us, some of us still have some Neanderthal in us, but very small percentage. They were smaller grouped, very smaller groups. So you're fucking your sister or your cousin or whatever as a Neanderthal to reproduce, and of course that causes. But they had been living in smaller groups for centuries.
But I mean, every species of side species of human had the same thing. They were all tribal, nomadic, and yes, there was a lot of inbreeding involved there. But no, where did they possibly come up with this shit from? Because I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory given the fact that there are still people with Neanderthal percentages in there. They were bred out because the Neanderthals were bigger, more dense. You know, they're more dense and everything like that.
Fluffy.
They required more caloric intake. And the nimble, not Neanderthal, Homo sapiens that came through and basically just, out survived them.
Yeah, out-survived them. That doesn't mean they need to die off, though. They just did a better job at it. And, of course, they intermixed with them, too. So there's that.
Yeah, the Nephilim, we don't have to worry about the Nephilim. We had the major flood that took them out.
Yep. Well, so my basic point is I don't think it was interbreeding, or else that would have happened long before, right? If that were the only issue. So I don't think that happened. I don't think that, it could have been just bred out to where the point where they were just incorporated into us, which is possible. But there might be a big reason, or it could be multiple different reasons. But that's what Simon Whistler's show. That's a Warfronts is the other channel he does, I believe.
Well, I mean that's like, well, what took out the dinosaurs? Well, I mean, obviously there's the big aspect of the asteroid or whatever. But I mean, then all of a sudden at that point you have a complete change of weather due to the not nuclear fallout, but the fallout from the asteroid. You just took them all out. Same thing with the Neanderthals. It wasn't just one thing. It was probably a number of things. There probably was an incest issue where a number of them probably bred themselves out of the equation. The rest were bred out completely. So, for the people who follow the Anunnakis, the Nephilim, even the Neanderthals, go watch the Y-Files on YouTube. That dude's got a bunch of stuff that's very entertaining to watch.
It was kind of like the donkey and the mule thing, right? As far as I understand it, once a Neanderthal and a human had sex, I don't think another Neanderthal and a Neanderthal could have babies. I don't know. I've read something like that before. So it's like, donkeys, but not mules. You know how that goes? I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I clearly have not followed the sexual escapades of the Neanderthals as closely as you, Derek.
Well, most of it was gangbangs, Brett. So you should have looked into that.
Sounds like a good time, right?
It does. All right, your show.
Oh, we're already done with your fluff, huh?
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Well, I got a byproduct of a Neanderthal. Actually, this is kind of weird that you brought this up because this is perfect.
Yeah, weird. That is weird. We did not discuss this at all. By the way,
this was not planned. All right. This is what happens when you let women to their own devices for too long.
Brett said that, not me.
Wow, I did not realize that they had that audio, and then we're going to stop that real quick. But here you go.
That'll get us.
Yeah, that'll get us dinged real fucking fast.
Okay. What was she doing?
She's trying to start a bonfire by pouring gasoline on an already lit fire, apparently.
What the fuck is she doing? That's insane. You don't pour gasoline on a bonfire that's already lit.
She's pouring the gasoline out on her yard now.
It travels right up the spout, dumbass.
I mean, as she's pouring, all the fumes are going out outside.
She's lucky she didn't get seriously burned.
She ends up putting it out. She calmed down. She's like looking around. Oh, did anybody see me? Oh.
I don't know. This is not a woman thing. I've seen any other idiots do this.
Fair enough. I know. This is the joke, though. It's going off the whole Neanderthal. Anthony says that I can fix her.
I can fix you. There's a song about that. Or I can't. Fair enough,
Anthony. But I think you can do better here.
Yeah, no reason to take this up and try to fix that. Just go find something else.
Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, to each their own. To each their own.
Absolutely. Yes. All right. What else?
Jackie D says, I've done that. Are you talking about the girl?
Have you? You know her personally. Okay.
Nice.
I didn't know we were going to hit home so close to home in this broadcast. All right.
All right. Going from one lady to another lady is a lady in Collierville, Tennessee, that was arrested from a soccer complex. The parents arriving at Rose Soccer Complex Saturday morning expecting Capri Suns. Apparently found out that there was a lady that was selling a bunch of wine.
With shin guards.
She just pulled out a table and threw out her wine. Here's what she was selling: Collierville Cabernet-ish for $9.
You can't
got a minivan Moscato for $11. Yeah, why not? You got it. Just sell it.
You gotta have a liquor.
Just sell it. Whatever. You're doing it right there at the complex where a bunch of 9-year-olds are playing soccer.
You gotta have a liquor license and you gotta have approval to set up the table in a public space.
Derek, you got the table, you got the wine, just do it.
All right, Mr. Libertarian, sounds good to me. Just saying, that's probably somehow against the law. She's a tall woman. She's no shorty.
Is that 6'3"?
That's what that says. Yeah.
Or is that 63 inches?
63 inches?
Yeah.
With her hair at 67.
She's like 5'3".
Okay. I was gonna be like, that's a fucking Amazon. She's practically 6'6".
Like you're like, oh, she's tall. I'm like, wait a second, is that really 6'3"? No, okay, no, it's 63 inches. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, okay.
She's an ankle biter, guys. She's an ankle biter.
So she is a short wine seller. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Anthony says I can give her a few more inches. Anthony likes what he sees, apparently. Yeah. All right.
Well, she's an entrepreneur, Derek. She saw a gaping hole.
A gaping hole.
In the market of selling wine at youth soccer matches.
Like any good man, she dove straight into that gaping hole.
Yeah, all right. She filled that gaping hole up.
And then she got arrested.
Wine. Yeah. That's actually right there. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What else we got?
All right. Moving on with fluff. Oh, we're done with the fluff. Now we're on to soccer fluff.
Soccer fluff. Soccer fluff. All right.
SF.
Okay. What do we got?
I don't know if you saw this, right? I'm not going to play the audio for it because I don't know what's going to happen here.
Taiwan or China?
Don't know. So he shoots. I think it's going to dip. Do you think it's going to dip in?
I mean, I would hope this is an actual. Oh, wait. No. It actually goes the opposite direction.
So it's going up and over, and it's going into the fans. What do you think is going to happen, Derek?
Somebody's going to catch it or get hit in the head.
Or somebody's going to head it nicely. Look at that guy. He's like, yes, this is my moment to shine.
Oh, that's J-League.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Okay, it's J-League. It's Japan.
Look at that guy. He was stoked after that header, man. Sign me up, coach. Boom. That's going down. That's going down too, man. That is a good header going on goal.
Well, sign him up. Taiwan is a province of China, Derek. How dare you? I'm sure the Chinese believe that. Yes. Yeah. Alex, that is a joke from Rob. It's not serious. I mean, listen, the Chinese certainly think Taiwan is a province of China. All right. That's true. That is true. They do think that. Well, they think it's something they might have to wrestle back into the empire, I guess. All right.
Just grabbing the island and pulling it closer to the motherland.
Listen, the whole landscape of war based on the Ukrainian-Russian war, it's over. Like standard NATO tactics, standard anything. It's done, Brett. Yeah. It's over.
Just put a little plastique on top of a paper airplane and just throw it down the mountain, right?
Yeah, listen, we are in a world, and I'm not even talking about bombing drones, fine. Those are still going to be needed, but more importantly, the Ukrainians have shown us tactical drones are the most important thing you can have right now. I think we talked about how there was a British and Latvian brigade, 2 brigades that fought 10 Ukrainian guys with 100 drones, and they got their ass kicked in a war game. Absolutely destroyed. NATO tactics versus 10 dudes with drones. So, yeah, that's where we are, and that's why Ukraine's been able to fucking hold on like they're doing, and now they're bombing parts of Russia with these drones. It's crazy, man. It is the end of the war as we know it. End of war as we know it.
John brings a point. Nukes greater than drones. That's a good point because I mean, once Russia feels like they're about to get conquered, at that point it's like, well, here's a red button.
Well, that will never happen because Ukraine's not going to invade. The only thing is, how irritated will they get before they think they're going to do that? I don't think that's going to happen. Yes, they got nukes, but nobody's going to, in their right mind, would use a nuke. All right, in their right mind. I'm going to be clear. In their right mind, that's not what you do. All right. Not at this point, not at any point, anywhere, anytime. So as far as modern linear war goes, things are going to be different, folks, going forward. This is one reason we could not land our troops on those islands near Iran, because they got tons of these fuckers, these tactical drones. So our guys would have been fighting drones. Not other Iranian soldiers, just these little things that fly around.
Have you ever watched these like these drone racing? I
used to watch that on occasion.
You just watch them with like a VR set and everything, controlling these drones flying all around these like old arenas and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my god, that's fascinating. But then you just gotta imagine, all it takes is a couple guys with some VR sets.
Absolutely, and they're better than they've ever been. They're more controllable, they're more accurate, and you can build them by the hundreds of thousands because they're cheap as shit. And even the bomb you're strapping on it isn't that expensive. So, in fact, you can drive a bomb that's probably equivalent to 4 grenades right into the engine of a tank who's just a sitting target. Yeah, you can do that now. Just straight to where you want it to hit.
Well,
right?
Cops in California are using drones.
Well, that's the first thing they may be doing in California that's actually intelligent for some time. Just no offense to Californians, but boy, the amount of money they're spending there is just for not much, sadly enough. It's a beautiful state with beautiful weather. Hopefully they figure that shit out. Otherwise, they're going to keep moving to Florida, Indiana, Tennessee, and Texas.
Yeah, they got to figure out that whole forest fire nonsense over there. Start storing some fucking water up high and let it pilfer down.
Maybe so.
Well, you have to do. Otherwise, you're gonna have nothing but nonstop forest fires.
No state is losing more people than California right now.
New York's right up there with them.
Mm-hmm. New York's a very close second. Yeah. All right. What else we got?
This is kind of not the main topics of our show here. Yeah.
Right.
No real good segue to this, but I mean, did you hear about the kerfuffle that's happening in Miami with Inter Miami and Messi and the fans and stuff?
No.
So apparently the fans aren't having it. They're pissed off because the players aren't walking over to the fan base at the end of the game, win or loss, and giving them a...
Well, at home, that's not been a win yet, right? Or did they finally get one this weekend?
They preface in this thing I'm going to pull up here, they say win or victory or loss.
Well, I don't think they've had a win yet at home. It's been ties.
And you should go and celebrate the fan base that are showing if you aren't winning games.
Yeah.
You
should.
So, yeah, this last weekend's match for 85 minutes. There's no drums, no flags, no banners, no chants. It stops, not because they stopped supporting the club, but they basically are just pissed off that the players just don't seem to care about the fan base. Because they're not going over there and saying, hey, way to come out here this 85-degree weather day, this wonderful city of Miami to support your men in pink.
Yeah, I guess when they finally do it, now that they've been pressured into it, it'll feel a little fake. So,
I know that, right? And that's the thing, right? You throw this little bit of a temper tantrum. Are you going to feel great when they come over and like give 2 claps and then walk away?
Yeah, it's going to feel fake regardless going forward.
Really?
But, I mean, you would think they would do that anyhow. I'm really surprised they haven't been.
I want you to sing this chant right here.
Okay. Players, respect your supporters. Say hello to your people who never ask for things. Hey!
Pretty lame. thrown together. Like somebody's like, "Hey, we gotta get a chant together. Hey, come support us." And we don't ask for anything, right?
Surely that's in Spanish where it rhymes somehow.
Yeah, it's gotta be something better than that.
Yeah, because none of that rhymes.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty lame. So,
yeah, this just goes over more and more detail on that front.
I'll sing it in Spanish if you find it in Spanish.
I'll try it. That'll be the next thing.
Right.
Fox Sports top 100 players ranked before the World Cup. We have 50 through 26. What American players are going to be on this one?
Dest, A-Rod, Jedi.
We had Pulisic. We already had McKinney.
There's only those two have a shot. Dest and Anthony Robinson.
I
That's it.
want to change this up for you. Let's take away from the U.S. factor. Let's say CONCACAF. Let's do CONCACAF.
Davies.
Okay, Davies could be up there. You're right. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
We'll just scroll down. We don't really have to go over there. There's La Cucaracha right there. You know?
I'm sorry. That's way too high. Has anybody been watching La Cucaracha play? He's fine. He's not a 50.
Your mom's apparently been watching him.
Well, because she can't remember his name and calls him Cucaracha. But yes, I was like, Mom, it's Cucaracha. Cucaracha, whatever. Anyhow, okay, fine. I think Kevin De Bruyne might be a little old to be 37. Speaking of old, Ronaldo's at 40.
I was gonna say, do you think Ronaldo at 40 is just because of his pedigree, or do you think he's still listed as a top 40 player in the world?
I think they want to get his ranking close to his age.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, to me, Kevin De Bruyne is not the same player I remember. But all right, fine. And again, these are ratings created by Stu, Alexi, and Mossy, and God knows who else. All right,
maybe Mo came in there. He was in there the other week.
Yeah, Cole Palmer having a fucked up rough year. Okay, but he's there. Luka Modric is fucking ancient, and really, while still having a somewhat decent season with Milan, this is where you would have expected him last World Cup, not this World Cup.
Again, though, you look at this and you say, not taking anything away from Luka by any means, but maybe this is taking into consideration his pedigree.
Again,
how good he's been in the past and what he's done, and he's having a pretty good season with AC Milan. But is he 34?
34 seems pretty high based on, what he's done so far with AC Milan. He's a legend. I don't know if he's quite at 34 anymore. Virgil van Dijk, not his best season either. Still a good player, and there's the one CONCACAF guy I threw out there. There we go. I did not see this before, by the way. We said last week when we did the 75 through 40 or 51 or whatever it was, that after McKinney gets in there, we don't think there's going to be any Americans on there. I didn't think so.
Question: now that we see Alphonso Davies here, are there any more CONCACAF players possibly in the top 25?
Nah,
I don't think so either.
I don't think so. Maybe he'll throw a Mexican in there somewhere, but yeah, I mean, it could have squeezed A-Rob from last season in, right?
How many games did Davies play for Bayern this year?
Not a whole lot. He's been injured.
I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from him being up there. He's a very talented player, top 30, whatever. That's cool. I'm just saying, if you're looking, I guess it's going into this World Cup, but is he even going to be at the World Cup?
Yeah, Alfonso.
I thought he got injured.
No, he's fine. He's back. He's been playing for Bayern again.
I thought he got injured just recently. I thought though. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the weeks have just gone by way too quickly for me.
They have, but still, 30 seems high for me personally. 30 seems high. Fuck, I think Modric is still a better player than Alphonso Davies. They're not the same type of player, but okay, whatever. Anyhow, we don't know where these picks are coming from, whether they're pulling them out of a hat, out of their assholes, or throwing darts at a board. So we'll just go from there, I guess.
So, again, as of 6 days ago, Bayern faced Davies' concern amid injury and World Cup uncertainty. So, no, he did get recently injured.
It was that bad?
I don't know.
I thought he played this month.
Jackie D saying played May 6th.
Yeah, I remember him playing. So he's injured again? Holy
I mean, that's
fuck.
what the news articles on Google's pulling up here. So
I'm not. Listen.
Let's see. He was sidelined with left hamstring tear.
Holy shit! Recently,
he sustained a muscle injury in the back left thigh on May 6, 2026.
Oh, okay. So the tear's healed. Now it's just the muscle.
Well, I mean that was 12 days ago, dude.
The tear was 12 days ago?
Yeah, that was 12 days ago.
The tear. I thought you said
he left the game May 6th with the hamstring whatever the hamstring issue I just mentioned.
Yeah, the hamstring issue, but not a tear. The tear was what happened before. That was the injury he came back from.
I don't know what the injury. He just left May 6th. That's all I know, dude.
That's what I'm telling you. Read the whole thing, and it mentioned he came in recovering from the tear, and now he's leaving with something else, but it's not a tear. A tear is bad. That's all I'm saying. A tear, he's fucked. He's not in the World Cup. You cannot tear a hamstring and then go play a World Cup weeks out.
A severe hamstring strain is what it's listed as.
So a strain he might be able to squeak by with, but he better not even fucking do a jumping jack in the meantime.
Colin is saying he's expected to return in a few weeks, so it's possible he's included.
I think if you're Canada, you have to put him on there and just hope for the best, right?
Maybe you're 50 preliminary and go from there and gauge accordingly.
I suppose.
Or are you taking a chance and using one of your 26 on the fact that a potential recovered Alphonso Davies could come in at some point during the World Cup?
Here's the best part of it, though, Brett. Ain't our problem.
Well, we've got our own injury problems, there. We got our own injury issues.
Exactly. I'm not worried about Canada. That's for Jesse Marsh and the Canadian story about, not me. I could give two fucks, actually.
Yeah.
None. I give zero fucks, actually.
I mean, we don't follow Canada. Why would we care?
No, we don't care.
Yeah.
Listen, I want all the CONCACAF teams to do well. Okay? But it is not a high priority for me. I like when CONCACAF shows up and gives a good showing, especially in their own hemisphere. But
no, there's definitely part of me that. Go ahead, sorry, finish.
I was going to say, once it comes down to USA versus Canada, fuck Canada, or USA versus Mexico, fuck Mexico, or USA against any other CONCACAF team, fuck off.
I don't know. With how the Canadian fans got after last cycle, like after qualifying, top of the group and all this stuff, and they're just we're no longer your bitch boys type of thing and whatever. And then they flamed out in the group stages. I don't know. I feel pretty good about that.
Listen, I find them extremely cuddly and endearing regardless.
So Derek is Landon. LOL.
No, I am not.
Derek's second team is Mexico.
No, it is not. My second team is Germany. Very clearly, my second team is Germany. So, now, but I do want CONCACAF not to get their ass kicked. I just don't like that when that happens. It makes us look bad. It makes all the teams in CONCACAF look bad. All right.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same mentality when you're watching like college basketball. When I use out and stuff like that, I kind of want Big Ten teams to do well because then again, it makes our competition look better.
Well, no worries.
We're facing better opposition.
No worries about that in football anymore. We're the best team in college football. So basketball. Much money
about basketball.
As much money as we spent on that last basketball team, IU still sucks. And the coach, four coaches we had. Well, Tom Crean wasn't bad. The rest of them
we're too unpredictable. That's the problem. Some days we look great. We're like banging away 100 points plus, whatever on a college game, whatever. And then there's some games we're playing like, Ivy Tech Lawrence, let's just say, and all of a sudden we're losing.
Northwestern
what
was a
happened
great
here,
example.
guys? Come on.
Yes. We got our asses handed to us by Northwestern at the end of the season. Northwestern, by the way, who spent 1/4 what we did. No, 1/10, I'm sorry, that we did on scholarships, or not scholarships. They're just paying these motherfuckers outright, right? Now.
Well, I mean, that's the equivalent of like Chicago Fire being in the top 3 or 4 money spenders over the past decade. But then we lose to, Columbus, who doesn't spend a goddamn cent on their shit because they just are a better run. They were a better run team. Maybe they are still.
Well, they're better at picking players too.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. They're a better run in that sense.
Like they get good.
You can throw all the money you want. It doesn't make shit if you're not picking the right players.
They get good discounts on players because they know what they're looking for. Whereas Chicago goes out and buys a big name and hopes that works.
Spencer says the IU football run made me start considering IU for a graduate school. Not going to lie.
Well, Spencer, don't you not use the football thing to make your decision on graduate school.
We just won the championship or whatever, and you're going to go there next year, and then we're going to flame out immediately. That's what's going to happen. No, it's not going to happen, but still.
I don't know what graduate school you're going to. Let me know, and I can tell you whether or not you should waste your money. Either way, it's going to be not as hard as you think. Okay?
Yeah, the Crew did just fire their manager, yes. And I think Will actually had a post kind of about this, but not about them particularly. Is that any team that's struggling in MLS right now should consider firing their coaches because they're going to have an 8-week, crash course with a new manager that they can get on the same page.
I know one guy should be fired. Sporting Kansas City manager. Our Swiss friend.
Mr. Ricky?
Mr. Ricky, yes.
I forgot that's where Ricky ran off to. I know he questioned him. We're like, how the hell does he keep getting gigs?
I don't know. I don't know whose dick he sucked, but he is still around. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's fascinating.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well,
man, what else is fascinating? Here, World Cup's, a mere month away, some change, and there's not a lot of, a lot people are always posting like, oh, there's not a lot of hype and a lot of talk about this World Cup. And I'm like, well, I see commercials all the time. I see product placement. I see shit out at stores. I don't know. I'm seeing stuff. And, I was helping one of my custodians today with some IT problems. And him and the guy who was working with him were talking about how they literally said, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I can't wait for the World Cup to be here. Because one of my custodians, his granddaughter plays it has to be, I don't know what team it is, but it has to be a DA club because she's traveling all over the fucking states.
Mm-hmm.
Every weekend she'll be like, oh, I'm in California this weekend, and then we're in New York next weekend. I'm going to be in Tennessee next weekend after that.
That's a big club, yeah.
And so I'm like, well, that's fucking great, So he's stoked, and then the guy who's working with him, his son's playing. My guess is rec or low level travel. I'm not sure. They haven't really talked about that much. So I don't know. But here's two guys who, never really played the sport, actually pretty excited for the World Cup to come about.
Well, I hope, Brett, that all of these people who are suddenly excited aren't extremely disappointed.
Yeah.
That's my concern. This World Cup could be huge. Whereas our president says huge.
Well, so huge. Huge. There's a difference on the fan base versus casuals. We've talked about casuals.
These are the casuals. I'm talking about casuals.
I'm sure every USA game, they're going to be like rooting for the US. But in the end, when the US eventually bows out, or when they bow out, they're still going to watch other games and they're still going to love the aspect of the quality of football that's being played. And that's the difference, I guess, in that sense. I mean, fan base will too. I mean, the U.S. men's national team will still watch the World Cup after U.S. bow out, but the casuals, they'll care, but they won't care as much.
So how do we designate my parents? I wake up on Saturday mornings when I'm visiting them on the weekends, and I come upstairs for breakfast, and they're both sitting there eating breakfast, watching the Premier League.
They're U.S. men's national team casuals.
They watch the U.S. men's national team. They don't know all the players, but they religiously watch the Premier League.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're fans of the sport. I'm not taking anything away from that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that they're casuals of the U.S. men's national team, which is fine by all means. Most of our fans are, and we talked about this. You had asked about the Noah Kai Banks thing, like, oh, how many people are going to be okay with him returning or coming to the U.S. men's national team? And I'm like, 80% of the fan base of the U.S. soccer fan base don't even know the drama. They don't even know the whole hoopla around Noah Kai Banks. They're going to be like, oh, who's this Noah Kai Banks? Oh, he plays in Germany. Well, that's cool. That's all they're going to know from that sense. Then the 20% that do know him, do know the drama, it was like, I mentioned, I was like, 10% is going to forgive and forget. 5% is going to be like, whatever, forgive, but not forget. And then there's going to be 5% that's not going to forgive nor forget.
Well, it was a couple weekends ago. Bournemouth was on playing, I can't remember who. And they were watching the game. And then my mom went, hey, isn't that Tyler Adams? Yes, it is. I don't know if it was a week ago or whatever. Anyhow, it was not long ago. And yeah, they saw, my mom noticed Tyler. My dad didn't notice at all. So occasionally they'll get it. Like, we'll be watching a Crystal Palace game, as we did not long ago and a few weeks ago. And I'm like, hey, Chris Richard plays on Crystal Palace. Oh, he does? Oh, okay. Okay, we got, oh, the big fro guy. Yeah, him. Big fro. Big fro? Yes, the guy with the big fro. He plays for Crystal Palace. So casual with their understanding of where the Americans play. They know Aronson pretty well. So when Leeds is on, they're like, oh, yeah, Leeds. Aronson. We know him. But very casual, not really noticing the individual players real well. They know the Hollands, right? My dad's a huge Holland fan for whatever reason. God damn it. But yeah, I mean, they just know the big players from the league. They don't really pay attention to smaller players on the team who are role players. They just know who the big ones are, right? That's it. So, yes, casual in the sense that, yes, not casual soccer fans. They watch it every weekend. They watch Premier League but they don't watch MLS, though. No MLS. Nothing. Even though they have Apple TV now, they still don't watch MLS. So, there you go.
Scroll past.
They're like,
You gonna put them on to a club and say, hey, watch the Real Salt Lake match, or hey, watch New York Red Bulls.
Here is the exception to that rule. If they run into Messi and Miami, they will watch Miami play. They're snobs. That's snobbery. I told my parents, this is snobbery. I caught them watching a Miami game.
But you know, Derek, what the problem is you only have so much time available to you in a day. And, the amount of time you allot to watching soccer is, a personal preference. And quite frankly, let's just say Saturday and Sunday, you have 3 hours on Saturday and maybe 3 hours on Sunday. You've got to limit which games you're watching.
6 hours on Sunday. Yeah.
I'm not saying you, Derek. I'm saying the general you. So
yeah.
It's just you gotta limit what you're watching. So like if you your parents, they're like, hey, we're premier folk. We're gonna watch the premier matches, and then occasionally I'll catch a Messi match.
They loved the Club World Cup Miami run. They were into that. Show the Sam Sarver goal in celebration. We probably won't. But yeah,
pulled up. Nope, I got it pulled up.
You got it. He did down a beer. Yeah. He did down a beer. Yeah. Listen,
instant legend.
I am busy with research. That is true, Tony. I will also say I do fit at least 6 hours of soccer watching it on Sunday. Only squeezed 4 in this weekend because the Indianapolis 500 qualifying was on Sunday. And I am a Indianapolis IndyCar fan as well as a Formula One fan. All right.
You know where Sammy was playing before becoming a pro, right?
Yeah, IU, right? Oh, no.
Hoosiers.
Yeah, IU. Okay. He's fast as fuck. That's all I know.
All right, let's jump back to the World Cup talk here.
All right.
Good news, Derek. Just like in the Qatar World Cup, we're going to have 45 minutes of extra time every game.
Okay.
There's gonna be some fifth official sitting on the sideline. Every time that ball goes out or there's a foul, click, click, tick, 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 click, and he's gonna calculate every second of the game lost to gamesmanship,
Really?
goals, injuries. No, there's not, Derek. I'm joking about that aspect, but they are going to have massive amounts of stoppage time. Again, they're going to let the game. There's just a lot of gamesmanship going on, so we're going to counter that with 9 minutes of stoppage time.
Yeah, 15. No, that's not happening.
15 every 90 minutes.
We'll have at least plus.
It's at least. Yeah.
All right.
So, I mean, that'd be like 8 minutes. That'd be like 8 and 8, which is still stupid.
Well, depends on what's going on. Yeah, it depends on what happens.
Guy breaks his leg and he's on the pitch for 12 minutes. Yeah, okay, I get it. 8 minutes is legit, But you score 2 goals and you feign a couple of injuries. 8 minutes is a little excessive.
Mm-hmm. Good question here. What do you think of Colapinto? I think Colapinto is just getting started. Could be it works out for him. This is an F1 driver. Could be it doesn't. Like, F1's a prickly pear, man. If you don't go there as a young rookie and show some amazing skill, you're gone. And being that I am not necessarily a massive fan of the team he drives for, I'm not a big follower, although I pay attention, obviously, to Colapinto.
Okay, I was going to say, I didn't know if you were going to have a tangent there.
No.
Pop down there for a second.
No.
I shut for a moment.
No, I mean, obviously, he's hugely supported because he's Argentinian. And that's a rare thing in Formula One. So an Argentinian gets in Formula One, just like the Argentinian that was in IndyCar, like that. You don't mess with that driver because the Argentinians are coming after your ass if you fuck with that driver. So, yeah.
So apparently Ghana are thinking about taking 3 players from their local league to the World Cup. For every player they call up, FIFA will pay $11,000 per day. If they don't make it out of the group stage, that'll earn that local Ghanaian league $150,000. This could mean that 3 local clubs would receive money, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot of people are posting this and commenting on this, saying, hey, this must be why MLS is really pushing that MLS quota, and we're going to have all the MLS players on there. What's $150,000 going to do to MLS?
Nothing.
It's not going to do a goddamn thing.
That's crumbs for MLS guys.
And we'll make the comment and we'll talk about the quota from time to time or whatever. But I mean, this has. We have to be joking with ourselves. If we're assuming this is why we're bringing in MLS players, no chance in hell.
150,000 is a player. A player. Okay? A player. One.
It's 1/6 of Christian Roldan.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It's a player from some college. You just
seriously at this point
got him from
the minimum wage in MLS is something like $86 or $86,000 at this point.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I mean, what's 150 going to do for you?
Not much. So, but might help the Ghanaian clubs. Who knows?
That's true. That could be a big difference. It's a big difference, quite frankly.
It's a lot of money for them.
I'm sure the money in Ghana is not flowing like MLS flows. I'm not saying the league's going to be any better or worse. I'm just saying
it should be flowing, but a lot of those Ghanaian players are ripped away from Ghana pretty early and end up in France, etc. Right? So they don't, or many of the Ghanaian players didn't even grow up in Ghana. They grew up in Europe. So there's that. Yeah. All right. Thomas Tuchel is not happy with England's planned World Cup base camp after concerns over the hotel conditions. Reports claim the rooms are poorly soundproofed, with noise from other rooms said to be a major issue for Tuchel, who is obsessed with player sleep and recovery. The FA are now considering providing players with special recovery kits, including custom pillows, mattress toppers, ergonomic eye masks, and earplugs to improve rest during the tournament. All right.
It'll also help out when you have all that stuff on there too, is if there is an actual fire in the building, they're not going to hear that shit. So it's just like, oh, they're concerned with the thickness of the walls. What do you think's happening in the room next to you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, or the floor above you. I mean, how soft are players getting? I mean, I'm sure that the players in the World Cups of old had this concern.
I mean, wouldn't you mostly have your teammates next to you?
Yeah, that way you don't have to hear your teammates having affairs with your wives. Right?
John Terry style, baby.
That's an England problem, right?
John Terry style, baby. Daddy's sauce. All right.
Sauce, yeah.
All right. Well,
more European.
Here's the great thing about that, Brett. I don't fucking care. Fuck the English national team. All right.
Fair enough. Here's a Portuguese.
Listen, I want to just say, I say that in this sense. I wish you guys well, but I don't care.
I don't even wish them well. I could give two shits. They're just another team for me.
I don't care.
Who fucking cares?
I don't care. They're not my team.
I don't care.
I
got no connection to England. I don't care.
Well, you do. You do. Probably more closer to Ireland.
I'm not English.
You're Scottish or Irish.
I'm Irish. Irish and Polish.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. My dad's his people are from fucking, a little island. So I don't know what to do about that. Anyhow, go ahead.
Here's a Portuguese fan stateside says the World Cup is rigged, guys. Texas is one of the hottest states in the U.S. and Portugal plays both their both games in Houston at 1 in noon. What does that mean? 1, whatever. That doesn't make any sense. Why not the evening? Derek, do you know why a game played on Wednesday and a game on Tuesday in a World Cup in the United States might be played at 1 o'clock when Portugal's involved?
Nope.
Because the European fans were bitching about the times of the games. They complain about the weather. They complain about the times of the games. 7 o'clock in Houston would be like, what, 2 o'clock in Portugal, 2 a.m.?
Don't they have
You can't sit there and watch those games at 2 a.m. It's bullshit.
Where are they playing those Houston games? In the big ass air conditioned stadium, right?
Yes, they are. They absolutely are. Yes.
Oh well, then fuck off. Isn't that
it's so hot? It's the hottest state in the country, Derek. And they'll be playing in an air conditioned soccer stadium, or not soccer stadium, but a football stadium. But
Houston Stadium is an indoor stadium, no?
I know, right?
Oh, well, what a fuck off, dumbass.
But it's at 1 o'clock, Derek. It's 1 o'clock.
Okay, well, I think if it's really hot, they will close the roof, Rob, right? Right? Yeah. I think they will.
We don't even have to worry about robotic clouds spraying mist down onto the fans like Qatar we're talking about. Because we have this dome that can open and close, and then AC can pour into the stadium.
Absolutely,
it's fucking fascinating.
Quit fucking crying.
This is the problem. People are like, "There's no hype. There's only negative things about." Well, that's because you have a bunch of dumbasses,
fucking morons
on Twitter that are just complaining about anything possible. It's the dumbest thing in the world.
Hey, here's an idea. Quit being a fucking numbnut halfwit. Before you post, do some research on the stadium. Just a thought. Just a thought.
So now this is my argument. I took weather out of the equation because I knew that they're playing in an air conditioned dome, but there's just bitching about. There was always bitching about the time, and like it doesn't matter because I mean, we had to watch games in South Korea, 2002.
Yeah.
And the games were like 2 a.m., 4 a.m.
Yep.
We sucked it up, Buttercup. You guys can too.
Yeah, get over it. Get over it.
All right. Moving on to more World Cup news. Domino's will be giving out $1 million worth of pizzas for any U.S. player if any U.S. player gets a red card during the World Cup.
What? First of all, that makes sense because that's a negative thing, and their pizza is garbage negative. It's disgusting. It's vomit worthy. Domino's is lucky to still be open. Their pizza is so disgusting. Yeah, Domino's.
Pizza on the cheap, man. It's not great. It's not good at all, but
how do you fuck up pizza? How do you fuck up pizza? Their sauce tastes like asshole.
Damn near every pizza chain is garbage.
Yes, true.
Papa John's, Pizza Hut, Domino's, all garbage.
It's bad. It's bad stuff.
Go get, if you want a pizza chain that's not bad, go get Marco's. Jets isn't bad. Papa Murphy's, you have to cook at your own house, but I mean, it's still pretty good pizza for what it is.
I got an individual piece from Mad Mushroom in Carmel last week, and it sucked. It sucked. Okay. Domino's crust is good. Any motherfucker. Here's the thing, Buxy. We love you, but any asshole can make a good bread. I'm sorry. It doesn't take much skill to make good dough. Dough is not hard to make, and cooking it is pretty what's hard is the sauce. The sauce is ass flavored at all these places. It tastes like runny shit from an asshole. That's not what fucking tomato sauce should taste like.
Don, you're going to have to specify what of Domino's is $30 now, because I mean, I can get a medium one-topping pizza from Domino's for $5.99.
Yeah.
I mean,
he lives in a different place than we do.
That's true. That's a great point. Great point. Giordano's in Chicago is great pizza.
Yeah. There's a reason. They make their own fucking sauce.
He says they charge like $10 for delivery plus another charge. It used to be $8.99. Now it's literally $30. Medium deep dish pizza. There you go.
Stop buying it.
Yeah, no. The only reason I possibly get Domino's is if my kids have it overnight and I just need to throw out something that'll feed the masses.
And here's the crazy thing, Brett. You can go out and buy the balls of dough now. They're pre-made balls of dough at the grocery store, right? And make your own fucking pizzas and make your own sauce out of fresh tomatoes, and it tastes way better. Way better. Like light years better. All right.
Yeah. Was it let's see here if I can find it real quick. Somebody's like who it was now? Somebody's like, who would put together some kind of a reward system for the US getting a red card?
Yeah.
And I go, that sounds like something that we would do. It makes sense for the red card podcast.
It would, but even we're not going to go negative like that.
And he's like, oh, you're going to give $1 million worth of pizza too? And I'm like, he's like, the ad revenue must be banging for you guys. I'm like, we're still waiting for our Raid Shadow Legend check, but
yep.
All right. I'm gonna give you this next topic. If you have a topic to talk about as well, I need to be right back. Okay.
All right. You got to take a shit. All right.
Yeah, I'll make it quick though. Don't worry about it.
All right, squeeze it out. Brian Schroeder in Germany, the Bundesliga promotion relegation playoff will feature two teams who each have an American. Santiago Castaneda, 21, once again broke the 2,000 minute threshold for Paderborn this season, and then defeated Darmstadt 2-0 today to finish third in the Bundesliga. He has been consistent. Well, then Brett should have hit show more. Anyhow, let's go over the situation right now in Bundesliga 2. Max Dietz and Julian Green are no longer starters for Greuther Fürth, who are at the bottom of the table. They're in 18th, very likely to be relegated or close to. And they've lost their starting spot. In fact, this week they were both on the roster. Neither played. So my prediction that Max Dietz would amount to a future center back or center defensive midfielder for this team looks very dreadful right now. It looks bad, real bad. He lost his starting spot. Green doesn't play anymore. And here's the thing. They're playing better without them. So there's that. They won this weekend. A much needed win. On the other hand, Braunschweiger, who looked pretty clear for a while, Braunschweiger looked like they were going to be fine. And now they are dropping down to the 15th spot. They're now in threat to be relegated. All right. And that's Gomez. So there's that. And then we got Mail Corbos. That's troubling as well, although he got an assist in 90 minutes and a win for Arminia Bielefeld. Although I think they're going to be fine. They're like more mid-table. So it's Braunschweiger, Firth, and Castaneda, Paderborn, Tolkien, and Holstein Kiel should be fine. Tolkien, though, has a knee injury. All right, so there's that. So that's what's happening in the 2 Bundesliga right now. It is unfortunate, but yes, some of the guys are going to be relegated. I think Green's going to go down for Greuther Fürth. We will see what happens to Maximilian Dietz. My guess is that Maximilian Dietz goes down with Greuther Fürth as well. I think both of them go down.
Has he done anything really worthwhile to not go down with them?
No. He's not even a starter anymore. Both Green and Dietz have been benched for a couple games.
That's such a problem with trying to predict people's progressions, quite frankly.
I know. I was mentioning that while you were gone that I had hopes, not high hopes, but I had hopes for Dietz, right? Mm-hmm. And that's not working out. It's not.
Well, we had predictions that he was going to move on from Firth as well too for a while there, but then he got a couple of injuries logged up, and it was just downward battle at that point.
I don't know if this is true, but Colin is saying, I listened to the Scuff Pod today, and Vincent Adam claimed Gozo doesn't do anything except some occasional goals. If that is what they're actually saying, which I haven't listened to Scuff, so I can't say that's exactly what they are saying. But if it were that they were saying exactly that, they'd be idiots. Gozo has been pretty amazing this season and continued to do so this weekend. So he's more the next World Cup, although a lot of people will get into that, pushing him for this World Cup. If you had a bunch of free space, I suppose you could do that. All right, what else?
ASAP Neko says, anyone rate Tolkien? Yeah, Tolkien's fine.
He's fine.
He's not gonna light up the field with that for us, but I mean, he's fine.
He actually played better in the Bundesliga than he did, in my opinion, the 2 Bundesliga this season. And that might be they expected more from him, and the pressure was on, and all of that. I don't know, but I thought he looked really good when he first arrived to the Bundesliga and played those first 3 or 4 games. He looked really good.
He played well in Uruguay too. Yeah, no, 100%. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Tolkien's fine. I mean, we were talking about left back and stuff like that. I have no problem with keeping Tolkien in contention, but
he's injured, so
yeah, it's unfortunate.
Knee injury. So
and Stray Catnip has here. The trash.
It is scary how far a team can fall from being promoted, being a fucking Bundesliga team, and then being the bottom or near the bottom of the Bundesliga that fast. So, yeah, Holstein Kiel has their problems. They're not a big club. I mean, that's where the Holstein cows come from.
Yeah.
It's still a nice place to live. Holstein Kiel's a nice city, but I mean, it used to be. I don't know what it is now. Americans, and I was going to bring this up. Adinarin and Bello lead Lask to their first Austrian Bundesliga title since 64-65. Congratulations to
Where's Larry in the chat? Where's Larry in the chat? He has been Team Bello since 1995.
Oh my God! This is the time to give Bello that reach around.
Come on, Larry. It's your chance.
Larry says he always deserved. Bello had a great season. Who had a better season, Adinarin or Bello? Adinarin did. Adinarin probably will not be playing at Lask next season. He will probably be moving on to a bigger Austrian Bundesliga team, or, which you can't get any bigger than Lask is now. They're first, but there are teams with more money than Lask. And so he may be scooped up by Salzburg or he may go to a Bundesliga team. But Adeniran has been nothing short of a revelation in Austria this season. So we will see what happens.
Do you think he holds off in the sense that he's got a championship spot or Champions League spot?
It could be. That might be the one way they can keep Adeniran. I think they'll keep Bello. I don't think there's any like massive scurrying for Bello, but there is some talk amongst Bundesliga teams and the top spending teams in Austria, like Salzburg and Austria Vienna, for a player like Adeniran, who was a revelation. Nobody saw this guy coming. Nobody here saw it coming either, by the way. So he has just been awesome all season. So
you've watched far more Red Bull games than I have. What's your thought? Colin wants to know if you've seen Che. Is it just right?
Well, yeah, Jay's still injured, and he just came back from injury, and he played briefly. So we need to see a lot more than that.
When did he come back from injury? I thought he's been playing all season.
Nope, he was injured.
Well, fuck it up, Troy.
And so he just came back from that. Let's give him a few more games to see how it's going. But yeah, obviously Chase Moore, if his target is U.S.'s national team, that's next World Cup, not this one.
Oh, 100%.
It's way too late now. Yeah, way too late. All right.
Unless her name is Noah Kaya Banks, right?
Right. And even for me, that seems pretty late.
Well, and we talked about this. We were sitting there before the March window got called up. We're sitting there going like, hey, or March window was announced. Like, hey, if he turns it down, then at that point, I mean, the door's pretty much got to be closed.
You would think it is.
You're going into the World Cup. I mean, you just can't just throw a guy into the deep end like that. But then again, people are saying that about a number of players. Why not? You know. So,
I'm not. It's a little too late for that. If he's still weighing his options to play for Germany, he is eating many slabs of humble pie right now. Because he is no longer a starter and hasn't been for multiple games. No Kai Banks. He had a horrible game, and he's been benched since. He had a real big stinker. Now, as a coach, I would not do that to a young player. I would not bench a guy permanently, it seems, after one bad game. But that's what happened to Okai Banks. And it happened right around the time of the controversy.
I don't know, it just seemed, I don't know. People, because a lot of people are posting out the something to make to denigrate him as an option. Saying like, well, he doesn't even start for his team. I'm like, he hasn't started like the last 6 games. Right. I get it. That's something to take into consideration. But he's been a consistent starter for that team all season long up until the March window.
Correct.
So, I mean, you can't sit there and say, he doesn't even start for his team. I'm like, okay, I guess. But that's ignoring the context.
He hasn't played for a month.
That'd be fine if you said that.
Yep. So that's a concern, certainly. But we are not at the luxury to be not taking a center back at this point who could help us. All right.
Yeah.
Like, you want to take Miles Robinson, that's on you. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, that was a whole debate that went on this past couple days.
I mean, I don't think that Miles Robinson will play even if he goes. And I question whether Noah Kai Banks would play if he goes. But he might. I mean, somebody could get hurt. But I do think Trusty, McKenzie, Ream, and Richards are the first 4 picks, basically. And after that, you got to go with
Scally and Freeman.
Okay. Yeah, you could still go with Freeman. I don't know if you go with Scally. You could. I don't know if Scally makes the team yet. But Freeman.
Blackman's not going to make it.
Listen, that's another thing that pissed me off this weekend. Freeman's been playing great for Villarreal when he got his chances. And then they're down 2-0, Villarreal, this weekend. And you put in 5 subs and you don't put him in? Why? Why would you not put him in? I don't get it.
Did they put in another defensive sub?
No, but you could have put him in as a winger. Why
fair,
not
but maybe
just throw him in there?
Maybe they thought they had better options in the attack than Freeman. I don't
guess
know.
so.
I don't know. I don't watch him, so I can't tell you.
I just found that very disappointing. He had a couple of really good games, and then he got no time. He just rode behind for 90.
I mean, everything I've seen on Twitter and about as the good games he had there have been very defensive minded, though. So it's like they show his defensive capabilities, which is great. It's great. I mean, he's definitely had. We've noticed that he's had those defensive capabilities, as well as the ability to get in the attack for the U.S. men's national team. But everything I've seen highlight reel of him, for the most part, has been very defensive. Which is, again, I'm not arguing saying bad.
I'm not saying.
But if you're looking, if you need to get goals, maybe you don't necessarily throw him in there.
It's not like he's been perfect either. You know, I mean, he's had moments, but then he's had some amazing save moments too, where he's the last guy there. So I thought he'd get more time at right center back, and nope, I guess not. So back to the bench for Freeman. But he's, for us, certainly an option as a right center. So you don't really need, if you're calling up Scally, you're calling up Freeman, both of those guys can play right center back. You do not need the other Robinson, Miles. You do not need him. You just simply do not need him on your team. And this whole idea we're going to call up 5 center backs, like real ones, is ridiculous. If you've got Scally and you've got Freeman, you do not need real center backs outside of 4. You need 4. The other guys can fill in. You do not need to call up any more than 4 center backs, 4 real ones, if you will. Ream is going to get called up. McKenzie, Richards, Trusty. Done. I am done after that.
I'll say, especially since Uruguay and on, it seems like Poach has been really focusing on the floating back 4 with the 2 center backs and your 2 back / wing backs. So I don't know. I don't know if 5 center backs is going to be necessary to have. If you bring in somebody like Freeman or bring in somebody like Scally,
you bring them both. Yeah, you don't need them. You don't need anybody else. You could bring Banks as a bowl of Jello to absorb, the games. And if you need him in a super pinch, yes. Or you need a 6'3" guy, 2 guy, because you're up, 1-0 with 10 minutes left. And he's going to be much better on set pieces, defending set pieces than Scally or Freeman, because he's a lot taller. Yes, then you use him, right? I don't know. You throw Banks in as a starter at this point, and I don't think Poach will go with that. I don't.
I don't think so either.
Yeah,
definitely. I don't think that's a starter.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're going to branch off into some Dual Nat Panic, but also kind of transfer news, kind of a combo here, and then it's going to branch off into more transfer news. So I'm only going to play the Dual Nat Panic here without the transfer news.
Let the song ring. Here. Dual Nat Panic. Do not panic. Cap them now. Cap them now. Take it straight from the show. All right. Many years ago.
many
years
I love it. It's one of my throw togethers there too.
Yeah.
You have the transfer news, but that Dual Nat Panic is mine.
Yeah, exactly. Although Puxtas, his dad, has said his dad's name is Mindagas. Puxtas. What a name. Has said he wants his son, Rokas. I guess he should have could have named him Rokas Dogus. That would have been cool. Rokas Dogus Pukas to represent Lithuania. Well, geez, quit being so pushy, Dad. The Hajduk split player, midfielder, appears focused on the U.S. Why shouldn't he be focused on the U.S. men's national team? It seems to me that he's set his sights on making the U.S. national team. When in God's name will Lithuania will be playing all these World Cups going forward?
Yeah, with the extended World Cups that we got, plus CONCACAF's extended number of teams included, all but certain at this point the U.S. will be in every single World Cup moving forward. But he's been part.
Yeah, not so much.
He's been part of our youth system. There's no reason to assume that he wouldn't be part of our national team if he continues to succeed the way he's doing. And I'm kind of surprised he hasn't been called up yet.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, he's getting screwed by his club. We all know this now.
Sure.
They tried to sell him to MLS teams. He said, "I don't want to play MLS. I want to go play. Yeah, I want to go play. I want to go play in Europe. Trade me to a European team. Well, MLS are going to offer you more money. I don't care. I want to go play. I'll take less money to go play in Europe," is what he's basically has said. And they just haven't found the right suitor yet.
I think the number MLS threw out at him and split was $5 million, if I recall correctly.
Which is, I think, a small number. But it's more than they're going to get from a lot of European clubs, because let's say it's Go Ahead Eagles in Holland. They're going to offer 3 best tops.
Maybe.
Now, a team like PSV could do 6-5, no problem. Feyenoord, but do Feyenoord and PSV and Ajax look at this guy and go, yes, that's a player? Well, I would only argue this. If you've been watching what Barak Tarovic has done at PSV in his short time there, as young as he is, I frankly think Pukstis is not maybe an equivalent player, but often very, very good and very skilled. He's a different type of player, certainly, but I think he's also a smart player, and I think he could bring that to a really good Dutch team if they're willing to invest $6 million. That's what it's going to take, I think. Maybe they want more. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, well, I mean, his contract has to be ending here soon.
You can check that. But he wants to play in Europe. Period. End of story. He refuses and has refused both of the last window options to MLS.
His contract is with Split until May 31st, 2027. So he's got one more year on his contract.
And he's still young, people. He's got time. There's no rush here. There's no massive rush.
Well, no, this is this summer that Split's going to have to sell him, because I would be shocked, honestly shocked, if he extends his contract with them.
Well, they treated him like shit last time. They treated him like a pariah. They benched him. They made him go train with the 2 team. Fuck those guys. I'm surprised he's still there, frankly.
Yeah,
forced his way out.
Well, that I think that's what the summer's going to be. It's basically, hey, you gotta, I mean, either sell me or I'm gonna ride the pine all season long and just go as a free agent.
Well, the thing is, hey, the Splitter, like, this is our best player, not just our best youngest player. It is the best player on our team, and so we do not want to give him up without some real cash. How it is that European teams have not noticed, since Hajduk Split is one of the best teams in Croatia, that this is a great player.
Yeah, finished second place, 20 points behind first. So,
yeah. And still, they've been up there every season that he's been there.
Yeah, saying that, I mean, the big problem is that he went like half a season to a full season almost of not getting any playing time at all.
Yeah.
Getting absolutely hosed by the I don't know if it's former Italian
coach. National team manager, former, yes.
Did he actually get chicken? I don't even know if he fired yet.
He got chicken.
Yeah, he totally boned Pukstis. I'm not sure why he even cares, quite frankly.
He got boned during that whole transfer debate, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trey Kenneth says the possible winter transfer. The problem with the winter transfer is by the time we get to that point, he could literally sign a contract with whatever team he wants as a free agent.
Yeah.
And doesn't have to worry about a transfer fee at that. This is the reason why Split has to look at selling him now. Unless they can bag an extension saying, hey, we'll sell you, but we just need to make sure we're covered here.
Yeah. They would need to bag an extension and then sell him at a later date. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which at this point, as I understand it, that he wants nothing to do with that. All right. Wuxia for 5. Thank you, brother. Is Scally the all-time stats leader for Americans? Starts leader, which is also a stat, for Americans in the Bundesliga yet. Too good to be replaced, not good enough to not think of replacing.
He's the youngest. He's the youngest to get to 100, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
100 starts or whatever.
Yes. I don't think he's quite beat his overall starts from Torundolo.
Oh, that's got to be tough.
Yeah.
It's been his entire career with the Hanover.
It's possible, but I doubt he's. Although Torundolo did spend at least a season in the second Bundesliga, so I'd have to check that. But I will say this: the thing with Scally is he is. How do I say this? He's a solid player who has an occasional shit game, but he's a solid player. He's not going to blow anybody's dick off. He's not amazing. He's not a startling player. He's not somebody you watch and you go, wow. He's a solid team rotation, mostly starter player. But
name a single player on that Gladbach team that hasn't had stinkers.
Well, that's true. That team itself is pretty medium. It's medium at best. Maybe looking at the lineup on paper at the beginning of the season, you thought this could be a pretty good team. Could be a top 16.
Well, I mean, at the beginning of the year when they started having that shit spell, we were sitting there going like, oh, God, this is rough for them. But they'll pull back. And they did. They pulled it back, and they're a mid-table team at this point.
They did it by being super conservative, though.
Oh, 100% conservative, yes.
Yes. So I don't like that as a fan watching it on TV, watching Gladbach games for the most part. Outside of the one,
they're boring fucking games.
It's boring as fuck.
It works, but it's boring.
It's boring as hell. The only interesting game was like 2 weeks ago when Reyna played 30 minutes and did what he did in those 30 minutes. That was fun to watch. But I think I texted you and said, hey, you got minutes? And I went home and watched it. Because I don't show up for Gladbach games anymore. I don't show up live. I don't bother. I wait until I read that he played, and then I go watch the minutes. These were some really good minutes from Reyna. So, not this weekend. They were bad, but last weekend was very good. So, what is next for Xavier Gozo? It's complicated. Oh, God.
Not really.
Not really, dude. You're
Not
making
really.
it.
Yeah, you're trying to sell clicks to your goal.com article here.
Absolutely. It's not this complicated. Aston Villa, fuck no. Atleti, why? That's not a position they really need. Lyon, why? But yes, fine. But why go there? Why are there no German clubs on this list? Because this guy doesn't follow the Bundesliga. That's why. But the truth is there are plenty of Bundesliga teams that are going to be interested in Gozo going forward.
Yeah.
And so the whole idea that there are only Spanish, English, and one French club interested is ridiculous. And then even so, why in the fuck would you go to Aston Villa? Why? You wouldn't.
I'd take Villa out of the equation. I think Gozo would absolutely do incredibly well in Bundesliga. I think he'd do great in La Liga. We mentioned Lyon and everything like that. Apparently, the only reason he's pursuing, not the only reason, but I guess the main reason he's pursuing his Ivory Coast passport is for ease of access into League. So.
Yes.
I think a number of these teams would be more than happy to have a player like Gozo in their ranks. and he's got the hunger and the drive to really succeed. So I mean, it'd be interesting to see what he's able to do when he lands in Europe at some point, whether it's after the World Cup or next winter transfer.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really good player that can pick his spots. He does not need to go to Aston Villa and be fucked around with. All right. I'm not saying he'd be fucked around with at Atleti, because obviously they've already shown they will buy players like Obed Vargas and play them.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Sure. So I think he's going to have a lot more choices coming into this summer than this shit that we're posting here.
I mean, the big issue with the want to move from this summer is that it's got to be a massive fucking bid, because Real Salt Lake's not going to let him go on the cheap.
Oh, I think we're talking 15 mil. That's what I'm thinking.
Minimum has to be.
Has to be. Not this 8 mil thing we've been doing.
The problem with that, though, is it does limit the number of teams that might actually be considering him.
Yeah, it does. Almost every Premier League team can pay that. It does cut the Bundesliga down to just the teams that weren't relegated, right? But even so, I think Tolkien was 11 mil, right? So that being the case, there could be a promoted team from the Bundesliga too. That I wouldn't go to one. There are plenty of other Bundesliga teams who can afford 15, 16, 18 million dollars. Go to Dortmund. Even Dortmund, who I hate at this point, but don't. If you got another choice, go to another Bundesliga team, Stuttgart, whatever, Frankfurt, where they play young players, right? But I don't like the Premier League. I don't like the idea of it. I think young players get fucked in the Premier League in general. I don't care what country you're from. So don't go to the Championship. You're too good for it. Your ceiling looks too good for it. So don't do that. Hey, man, if you can go to Feyenoord, PSV, Ajax, do that too. I'm fine with that. Build your resume, then get signed for a lot more money. Those teams can afford 15 mil. But do not. Atleti's fine as long as there's a place for you on the team. Just be careful there, what you're getting into. Make sure the formation going forward means you'll have a place on the team. And I don't mind Real Sociedad, but that seems like, that's fine. American manager, all that jazz. I don't think that's where you should go, though. If fucking Freeman could go to Villarreal, third place team in fucking Spain, you could certainly figure out a spot just as good somewhere around that. Now, Atleti would certainly fit that mold. But I don't know why Germany is so left out of this discussion. And by the way, the names will be added as we go forward. And we don't know what Ryan really knows. We really don't. No offense to you, Ryan. I just don't know who you are. Luxia says, for $5, who are you replacing him with? It would take a guy that Gladbach cannot afford to pay for. Hence, he's too good to be replaced, but not irreplaceable. Who are we talking about? He's
talking about Scally at Gladbach. Basically, I think Scally's versatility and his being relatively consistently solid for them might not blow you out of the water type of player, but he's basically solidified himself for life, at least for the next handful of years.
Here's the weird thing.
Why would you possibly get rid of him?
It's not so much that. In a recent interview, Scally said he's ready to move on to a new club. He would like a different challenge. He said that in an interview with Herc. That's a hefty thing to say. Hefty. So, if he wants to move on, that's cool. That's not usually something you say in public. That's something you deliver to the team privately. And you say, listen, it's been a great run, but I'd like to move on and try something different. You don't say it publicly to Hercules Gomez in an interview. So, not sure I'm a fan of that kind of openness by Scally. It's not going to make you any favors at Mönchengladbach, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they would rather hold on to him. He's just solid. He's been solid for a long time for that team. It's a guy they line up almost every weekend in the back four or the back five.
God, he's also the type of player though that if Gladbach had gone down this season, how many teams really have been coming knocking at his door?
Not many.
That's it's got to be a concern of his, because he's like, well, geez, here's a team that's, you know, not necessarily bringing in the players that are going to make us, you know, safe year in, year out. We have no strikers. Was the guy they lost their big offensive threat this year. God, I can't think of his name right now.
Are you talking about Gladbach?
Yeah, Gladbach from last year.
Oh, he was injured most of the season.
No, not the guy I'm talking about. He transferred, but I can't think of this guy's name right now.
Oh,
he was like their second striker, center mid type of player. Scopping me.
Forgot. Move on. But
doesn't it start with the P?
ASAP is right. Scally should not go to the Premier League. No, don't do it.
Well, hold on. I'll come back to this one, Julian. But Julian for $2 does say Scally wants the Premier League, which is what started that whole conversation.
If that's what he really wants, what he really wants, he's got an issue. I wouldn't do that to myself if I were him. Kleindienst? Is that who you're thinking about?
No, this is a shorter name, and I don't know. I can't think of who it was.
Who did they go to? Who did that player go to?
I couldn't tell you if I knew that. I'd tell you.
I don't think it was Gladbach.
Nope, it was Gladbach. But
okay. Who do you guys think of U.S. men's national team journalists wanting Gozo for World Cup? Also want Real Salt Lake to sell Gozo. They better not hold him hostage. Well, if the 15, 16, 18 million comes, they will sell him. They will. They'll sell him. Now, the standard number across the board so far for most players in MLS has been 8 mil. So if they're getting 18, 15, they're going to sell. That's a good number. It's a really good number. I don't know which journalists we're talking about. I know some of them, but that want him to go to the World Cup. And I'm fine with him going to the World Cup if you got a lot of extra space that you think you've got, and because I don't think he's going to play if he goes to the World Cup. He doesn't know this team. He doesn't know these players. He's not familiar with the setup or the tactics. That's a lot to throw a 20-year-old kid into this late in the game.
Well, that's why I sparked that question weeks and weeks ago. Like, what was the last time the U.S. called in somebody who's never played for the U.S. before? No, it was Julian Green. I think
Julian
it was the most
Green,
recent
yeah.
one. Now, of course, people brought up Yedlin, but Yedlin played the last couple of windows before the World Cup.
Yeah.
Maybe Brooks. I don't know. Was Brooks involved before he got called in that World Cup too?
Yeah, he was.
Okay. So, I mean, my question, how frequent does this happen where you have a young player who gets brought in without any international experience with the team?
You often can get brought in, but you don't play.
Sure.
And if you do play, you're up 5-0.
By the way, Derek, the Gladbach attacker I was thinking of was Plie.
Who?
Plie.
Oh, Playa.
Playa. Sorry, not Plie. Playa. See,
I mean, it might be Playa. I don't know.
I don't know.
I always called him Playa.
Whatever. I'll go with either one.
I like
But yeah, they sold him off, but they never replaced him.
No. And actually, wasn't he a part of the Union Berlin team along with, I believe he was,
Fuck.
along with PFOC that made that amazing
I know they were a part of. They're part of the. I know they're together at Gladbach. I don't know.
Well, PFOC never played for Gladbach. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he did. He got loaned out to Gladbach for a season.
But he didn't play much, did he?
Well, he got injured a lot, but he did play.
Yeah, he got injured. Yeah. Anyhow, yeah, wow. Bringing back memories.
I know, right? Memories.
Yeah, it's almost hard to remember that. It was so long ago with fucking with PFOC in Portugal and totally like not like even a thought anymore. Mm-hmm. But anyhow.
But I mean, could Goza be brought in for the World Cup? Yeah, he could be. He could be brought in as a late sub to try to change the course of the game. Yeah, he could be.
Are you talking about Goza?
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, and I mentioned that earlier. I don't think Poach is going to call him in.
Unicorns could shoot out of your ass right now.
Why would unicorns? Rainbows would shoot out of my ass, Derek. Not unicorns.
It's possible.
Why the fuck would unicorns be popping out of my ass? That's a massive thing to take. What?
Well, it's dangerous because they have that point on their nose. It could rip your intestinal lining. But other than that, yeah, anything's possible. But Gozo playing in the World Cup, yeah, I guess if we're up against Australia 4-0, he could play. But I don't see him not being involved with this system at all up until this point. I don't see Poach doing it. I just don't see it happening. And that's just me trying to understand Poach. I love Gozo. I am excited about this player. But I have a hard time believing that's what Poach is going to do at this point. I just do. Because somebody else who's been on this team and playing for this team on the regular is not going to make the team. They're going to get cut. Right?
Well, and those things happen too, but I'm just like,
it does.
I would honestly be surprised if Poach makes any massive amount of roster changes from what we saw in March. Minus unless you were injured prior to that. Like Luna, Haji were both injured, using them as an example, and both are in contention for a 26-man spot under Poach. So it's barring injury, I can't fathom Poach branching away from that March window too much.
And as good as Luna's playing, or has played recently, Gozo is just outshining everybody on that team. So, like, if it were a direct competition between the two, which it isn't, you're taking Gozo over Luna.
Sure. And you know what? If it was a coach that had plans and ambitions to continue coaching after this cycle, so if it was like an American coach, like when Berhalter did 2022, and he had hopes to continue on, then yeah, bringing in a player like Gozo or bringing in somebody like Julian Hall as an option just to get that cap and get them ready moving forward might be something they could consider. We've done it before. Like I said, we brought in Julian Green. Man, he came in as a sub. We guaranteed him a spot at that point.
He scored
a goal.
He scored a goal.
Yeah. So
yeah, that was a bad pick. Yes, he scored a goal. Great.
I mean, I don't think he necessarily, in my opinion, I don't think he took the spot of Donovan. If that's what you're trying to allude to.
No, he didn't. Although most people said he did. Donovan was never making that team regardless. You can pick whatever player you want to replace him, but several players replaced Donovan on that lineup, and we won't go into
several players could be. We've already talked about it a lot, quite a few times actually.
Yes.
So quite a few players could be considered of taking a spot, but yeah.
Yes, like at least 4
who
made the team could have not been on that team, and Donovan would have made a better impression. All right. Arson, Berhalter are likely to move this summer. Germany or England are the possible destinations. If it's England, both are playing in the championship. They are not playing in the Premier League. Now, could both of them play in the Premier League? It's possible, but it would be for a lower range Premier League. I am just saying this because the consistent theme recently is American players going to England do not hop directly into the Premier League. They hop into the championship. There are exceptions, but not directly from MLS to the Premier League. We had Sargent go from Werder Bremen into the Premier League. Okay, fine. Chris Richards, Bayern Munich, and his various loans, then to the Premier League, Bundesliga to Premier League, but not MLS. Bam, Premier League. That's not happening as much.
I think if you talk about Arsene or Berhalter, you're talking about a championship move similar to like Aiden Morris was.
Yeah. Yep.
So just talking about the players, Arsenal's contract ends next season, but Columbus has an extension through 2028 if they want to. Sebastian Berhalter's contract ends December 2026. So if Vancouver wants to get anything from him, and they're going the way of the dodo anyhow, if they want to get some money back from him, they're going to sell him this summer.
Yep, they probably will. We will probably see Berhalter playing for whomever in the championship.
Or Germany, quite frankly, because maybe family connections still.
Preston North End. That's my. I'm not calling it now.
It's gone. Lock it in.
Berhalter to Preston North End. We'll see. I'm kidding, of course.
Go to the championship, fight for your starting spot, and then work your way up into EPL like Morris and Haji Ray did.
How about this call? Arsene to Wrexham. Arsene to Wrexham.
Why not?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That'd be fun.
That'd give me a reason to watch Wrexham at the point.
Yeah, exactly. All right, what else we got?
Oh, geez, we're already on to one of our topics here.
Oh, God.
So,
this will be short.
Well, maybe I got a couple of things pulled up because, man, I got into some arguments with Noblet all weekend.
Well, I think we can destroy him quickly.
I would hope so. We got a couple of things pulled up here.
Yeah.
NFL legend Rob Gronkowski said, if we didn't have American football, I think USMNT national team would be a top 3 in the world. All of our best athletes play American football.
No, they do not. They play basketball. Number one. Let's start there. Basketball, as far as a youth sport, way out.
Okay. So, okay.
Yes. Destroys American football. Like, you cannot find baby fucking football being played anymore. It's flag football, not actual tackle football. That's not a thing kids do hardly anymore until they get into late middle school. Just saying.
So the argument you're making here is one that I've made whenever this argument comes up. It's not people are like, oh, our best athletes play football. And yeah, there's some wide receivers and some players that might translate over if they had played soccer their entire life. But I mean, the vast majority of what we're missing out on are those players who didn't quite have a specific trait to make it in NFL or make it in the NBA. Maybe you're that 6'1", 6'2" basketball player who's really good, but your height fucks you royal.
Yeah, 6'1", 5'11" basketball player.
Yeah. Or, I mean, maybe you play football, you play high school, maybe even play college football, but you just can't make the NFL because you don't have the physical attribute that puts you over top of this one person that you're competing for. So it's not necessarily the athletes who are playing these other sports, and it could be less on the basketball side because once you start getting past 6'4", at that point it's like,
then
you're
really
not
play. No, your brain and your feet are too far apart. Like you're not I mean, we look at the freak that was Peter. Peter Crouch at 6'6". 6'7", and we think
was that one, was he Croatian or whatever? There was another striker that played like till he was like 40 and he was like 6'5" or 6'6" too.
Those are rare birds.
Rare
like
birds, right?
Tall people cannot play soccer. Really tall people have a very difficult time playing soccer at the level that would make it applicable for them to play professional soccer. So I'm sick of that. We're not losing a bunch of NBA players. Maybe a lot of them would have been good goalkeepers, which we could certainly use right now.
I don't know. I mean, you talk about getting up that height. I mean, how nimble are you as far as diving for stuff and getting down? I mean, at that point, you're kind of like a tree falling in the forest, you know?
Yeah, and this whole idea that size is good anyhow in soccer is just ridiculous. It's not. You can be very small and be a great soccer player. So that's just wiped out completely.
5'6", Donovan's 5'8". I mean, the number of short players that can play the sport certainly outweigh the number of large mammals that can play the sport.
Yeah, I would say 6'2" is 6'3" if you're a center back, 6'4", maybe a striker at 6'5", and we got one that's 6'6" now, Bambi, or somewhere around 6'4". There, 6'5", 6'4". But that's about the top that's going to go. Now, in football, you've got specific positions where you're like, okay, those guys could have been, like you're talking about your CBs and your safeties and maybe
wide
receivers, but even those are really tall now. So your central wide receivers that play inside, but not your fucking running backs maybe, yeah, but not tight ends. Those are all guys that are like 6'4". They're built like tanks. Linebackers are massive. Well,
and so this begs the question: if these players weren't playing to play football their entire life, if they're let's say they're 6'2", but they're built like tanks or whatever, would they have been built like tanks if they picked up the soccer ball at a young age?
Maybe not.
Probably not. So I mean, it's to sit here and argue, and we'll play the video clip here in a sec, but to sit here and argue and say, if we didn't have American football, then the U.S. men's national team would be a top 3 team. Well, it's bullshit because you're assuming that if you remove football from the late 1800s, early 1900s, or whatever, never past college, fuckery, that those players from that point on would sit there and be like, well, I can't pick up the seg ball, so I've got to pick up a soccer ball. But the problem is baseball was still massive at that point. Later on in time, basketball became massive at that point. Soccer was still trailing behind. Do you really think these athletes would have transitioned to soccer instead of going to baseball or basketball at the time? No.
And on top of all of this, United States youth soccer is the number 1 by a long shot. It's not even close. It's not close to baseball. It's not close to football. Not close to basketball. More kids in this country play youth soccer than any other sport. Any other sport. Any other. It's not even close. So don't tell me that there aren't. We don't have the numbers. We have the numbers. The output is what we're looking for. We're finally getting some of that output now with the Gozos. And I mean, we just go through what's happening in MLS and what's happening in Dortmund with Matisse Albert. We're getting the kind of things that we've always wanted. But you're also looking at an elite level of the sport is what we're going for. And yes, so the numbers that you pump in, the more numbers you pump in, the better, the more results you're going to end up getting down the line. But to tell me that football and basketball and baseball are what are ruining the development of
we're ruining the development on our own, damn it.
We're doing it on our own. We are ruining the development of players all on our own. We got plenty of players. That's not the problem.
Well, here's the thing. Everybody looks at like, oh, these elite athletes in football. Well, I mean, they've trained their entire life to be able to make a 10, 20, 30-yard sprint as fast as they fucking can to break away from a player and get that ball. But if they were to play soccer, they wouldn't have been developing in that sense. They still, you still develop the pace and speed and everything like that, but you're not sitting there worrying about making a 20-yard instant sprint.
I get all that.
I mean, it's different. You're assuming that these players from all these other sports who you consider these great athletes, which they are great athletes, but you're assuming that when they flood over to soccer, assuming that if soccer were the number 1 sport in America, that these players would develop in a similar fashion, which we still have our own system is what's fucking everything up at this point.
The thing is, yes, There are plenty of numbers. The numbers aren't the problem. The fact that a very select few people go on to play high school and college football, and that's a small number comparatively to the number of kids playing soccer. I don't want to hear it anymore. It's not true. And basketball players are almost all over 6'6" now. I don't want to hear that shit because most of those guys are not going to be good soccer players. Guys over 6'6" can't play soccer. It's just a fucking reality. If it were true, we would see a lot more big ass motherfucker. There is one sport where height has not drastically increased in the last 50 years, and that is soccer.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
In baseball, holy shit, the guys are huge.
Ariel Woxia pulls out some numbers. In California alone, there's over 400 AYSO regions. Within those AYSO regions, there's over 600,000 people playing.
Yes, exactly.
It's not the numbers.
Close. It's not even close. American soccer, kids playing soccer in America is at an all-time fucking high. Okay? It cannot get larger. I mean, it could. Because, I mean, kids don't play sports anymore. So that's what all sports are facing now. The fact that kids aren't active, don't play sports. But of the sports that are actively played, soccer is the most gigantic one of them all and has been for about the last 7 or 8 years.
It all stems down to our overall development program, the system in place that's really choosing it. And, you know, you had Ronaldo came out and talked about the pay-to-play system and how that's janked. I forgot the guy I've been watching recently, and I know that Tact called them out recently for a Kevin Sullivan video. I can't remember what his name is right now. If I had my YouTube pulled up, I could tell you. But he works at a D2 college team. I don't know which team it is, but he talks about the youth system and stuff like that. And he talks about how the different levels of the pyramid are set up. And that basically at this point, colleges and professional teams are only really scouting those top 2 levels of the pyramid. Everybody else underneath it is fucked. And then my whole point by bringing this all up is that our system, as far as development and moving them forward towards a potential professional career, is negligent. It is just it's not there. So it's not that, oh God, if we got rid of this sport, we would be bangers. We might see some influx in our player pool. We might see some more quality players that have come up through the system, similar to how Donovan, similar to how Dempsey, similar to how Bradley, similar to all these players have come up through the system. Pulisic, McKinney, all of them. But I mean, in this clip, he's talking to Chad Ochocinco, and he's like, "Hey, Chad, man, God, if you played soccer, you know, if you picked up a soccer ball when you were younger, man, you would have been, you know, hey, you would have been banging, you know."
He did pick up a soccer ball when he was younger. But Ochocinco played soccer as a youth.
But I mean, you also have to take into consideration the system that we had in place, especially even when Chad was playing.
Horrible.
It wasn't great. It wasn't a great system.
It was shit. So you can have all the fucking players you want, and if you don't have a system. By the way, I can't remember who said it now in the chat, but MLB, Major League Baseball does have short players. But let's be really honest about Major League Baseball. The biggest hitters now are large mammals, and every pitcher now is over 6 foot easily. Not everyone, but majority of the pitchers are 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". The pitchers are gigantic. If you're a 5'11", 5'10" pitcher, that's a rare thing nowadays. It just is. Pitchers are massive. The big hitters are massive. Yes, you still have second baseman and fucking shortstops, and maybe third base guy can be a little small, but generally the catcher can be small, but that's just not normal. A lot of those guys are fucking massive now. Like when I was a kid, all the baseball players were like, I mean, Reggie Jackson was big, and he was 6 foot, right? When I was a kid. That was a big dude. All right. Well, times have changed. They have changed. Now we got massive dudes. All right.
Yeah, I think the big thing. I'll start the video here, and you can do what you need to do. The big thing about this is that it's not necessarily the player pool that needs to change. We have a bigger player pool, quite frankly, from youth on up than most major footballing nations out there.
Yep.
The big thing we need to improve upon is our culture and our youth development, our player development, our pathways to professional standings. That needs to change. Player pool increase is going to be great, but it's not the be-all, end-all. We aren't going to magically flip a switch and become a top 3 nation. It's not going to happen.
Nope.
All right. Nope. I'm going to go and play this video, Derek. You can go ahead and do what you got to go do.
I'll be back.
Okay.
If we didn't have American football, I believe that Team USA would be a top 3 team in the world. I think our football in America kind of ruined our soccer game. Kind of ruined our soccer teams for Team USA because all our best athletes play the game of football, of American football. Like you, Chad. Like if those athletes started at a young age, like our wide receivers and DBs, they're the best athletes in the world. If they started at a young age, everyone knows in America you're going to play football, American football. You're not going to play soccer. Like that's the goal.
I mean, they're the best American athlete. They're best athletes, quote unquote, in the world because they're very focused on very small aspects of that particular game. I mean, you put them on the basketball court, they're not going to perform as well as the top basketball players by any means. So they just have developed over time to what their game is. Now, again, whether or not they come and they partake in the U.S. system throughout the 80s, throughout the 90s, and so forth. I'm just starting at that point. We could go back as far, like I said, as the 1800s, whenever football came over, or late 1800s, early 1900s, when football came over, and let's just say we squashed it completely and then never occurred. I mean, you'd still have to go through the system and develop it accordingly.
Brett, you know what we'd be really good at? Probably the best in the world at? If football never came to what football became, we'd be the best in the world at? Rugby. Hell yeah, we'd be the best in the world of rugby. Yep. I mean,
if there was NFL money in rugby, I guarantee you,
we'd be the best
in rugby.
We would be the best.
The reason why everybody floods to NFL, the reason why everybody floods to MLB, NBA, and stuff like that in those leagues is because they see the end goal, and the end goal is potentially making millions and millions of dollars. Now, mind you, 99.999% of the players who go that route to try to get to that point don't accomplish that.
Yeah,
they fail at some level moving to that point, which is true in soccer too. Mind you, have an entire world playing soccer, and you have more leagues that you can go and play in, of course. But
can you imagine, like the best 50 athletes that are in the NFL right now played rugby since they were like 5? I mean, we would be unstoppable. We really would be. Not that there's not strategy and tactics and all that too, but physically we would be scary. We would be scary physically as a team because we've got mammals like most nations don't have. We got mammals, large mammals, who are powerful, fast. But fact is, we can't compete in rugby because not a lot of people play rugby either, right? They're picking football instead of rugby. Rugby's a college sport, and some guys move on to playing bigger rugby, but it's not a big sport in this country. So that is a sport that translates directly from the larger mammals that play in football. The other sport, if you want to take basketball, we would be really good at, if basketball didn't exist, would be handball. A lot of our basketball players would be really good at handball. But we don't care about handball. Nobody cares about handball in the United States.
Nobody cares about handball.
Yeah. So,
U.S. are currently ranked 16th in the world for rugby at this point, behind giants like Georgia, Fiji.
Well, Fiji's good.
I know they are, but you hear Fiji and you don't necessarily think world class sports teams. But yeah, with rugby makes sense. Yeah,
Fiji's really good at rugby. Yep. All right, what else we got?
Bravado says my wife likes likes handball.
Or her hand on your balls. Which one is it?
Man, there's the clip that always gets passed around, and I always see it on my feed from time to time. Of it's like a female handball, but the goalkeeper has the ball and she chucks it down to a girl going down trying to score, of course, and she grabs the ball and she takes one step and she goes to throw the ball and she just does this little tiny flick of the wrist and the ball bounces off and skips right past the goalkeeper. It's like, that's a big brain idea right there when it comes to trying to score. You're not just like launching it at the goal or anything like that.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Big brain. That's a smart play.
All right. For the 165 of you that were here not long ago, make sure you like, subscribe, and share it with your grandma. All right.
Gronk's going to pull it home here in a second with a statement that thoroughly befuddled me. But let's hear this.
American football. If we didn't have American football, I believe that Team USA would be a top three, top three team in the world whenever it comes down to Olympics, World Cup, or whatever that is. And that's why I believe our women's team is so good because they get their best athletes to play right from the beginning. Yeah. And that's why our women's team is so good. But we take away our soccer athletes and we make them become American football players.
No, we don't. No, we don't. We do not take them away and make them become American football players. Have we forgot Title IX? I guess everybody forgot about Title IX.
The only reason why the women's national team is the dominant force in female soccer right now is because we don't play football with women.
They had Title IX. No other country in the world had Title IX. We had it, and one of the sports easily created in the 1970s to replace and to equal the number of men's sports was, rowing was one of them, but soccer was huge, lacrosse, and field hockey, but soccer was the most popular women's sport and has been since Title IX was created. We were way ahead of the rest of the world in getting girls involved in sports.
Since it was 1972 when Title IX went through. Because it's surprising how many people were like agreeing with Gronk on this. It's like, oh yeah, the reason why our women's team is so good is because we don't have American football for girls. I'm like, are you fucking stupid?
That's because we've got a lot of morons on Brett.
Did you have concussions while playing the sport? Is that what's happening here?
Yes.
Because again, I had to explain to him. I'm like, guys, the reason why we're so dominant in this is because we've been funding women's soccer since the 70s.
1973 is when the women's soccer started in college levels.
When was the first Women's World Cup? Was it 94? Did it actually start then?
Somewhere around there.
Not 94, 1984. Whatever the the most epic one.
90?
Somewhere in the 90s. But I'm like, we had 20 years of development of women playing soccer with no future outside of college. We had 20 years of development beyond the rest of the world. Now you have the rest of the world catching up to this point. Now you have a lot of teams in Europe. There's teams in South America, obviously, that do well. Mexico's started to step it up. You have other women's national teams. 91, thank you, Bimar.
91, yes, it's an off year. Yeah. Odd year. We had
such a massive head start that at some point we may lose ground because the rest of, especially Europe, is starting to invest into that. And now, mind you, it all depends on how much ground we lose is going to depend on how we invest in our development moving forward.
And so how did Europe counter that? Europe took their biggest men's clubs and started women's teams within those men's clubs. And now you've got Lyon and PSG,
Chelsea,
Barcelona,
Arsenal,
and Real Madrid women ladies, and Chelsea ladies. Yes, they're not stupid. If they wanted to catch up, they had to figure that shit out, and they did. The men's teams have now started women's club teams inside of those big club teams. And so, yeah, they got money too.
So, I mean, I wonder what Gronk's thought process, or these other people who are agreeing with him, is whenever Europe finally does catch up to us and we're no longer consistently number one. Maybe we're number 3. Maybe we're a top 3 team. Who knows? But when we're no longer the number 1 nation in the world consistently, what's their reasoning for that? Is it because we are all of a sudden have female flag football in California? Maybe we're pulling all our athletes away from that?
No. It's a joke. This is the thing. When you bring Gronk on a show to talk about something he knows absolutely zilch about, absolutely dick nothing about, this is what you get.
Yeah.
This is what you get. Yeah. A non-rational response.
Gotta share here first, I guess, before I do anything. All right. So Kelvin says the stupidity of this debate is almost comical. So again, the whole argument is that hey, if we could flood our player pool with these best athletes, we'd be a top 3 team. I made the analogy of saying it's the same concept of having a failed school district and thinking that throwing money would just fix the problems. Might see some residual improvements, but the problems are still there.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a pretty straightforward and made sense. Made sense. I thought it was a pretty good comparison. Well, Noblet here says, I knew you were dumb, but holy shit, this is not even close to the comparable argument.
Wow, that's a pretty dumb reply.
I mean, interacting with him on Twitter, I've come to the conclusion that his reading comprehensibility is just non-existent. He cannot comprehend anything you say. He'll read one thing that you post, like one little comment of it, and then he'll create his own straw man argument. Other people are pointing this out too.
Yeah, no,
it is so. I've lost brain cells dealing with him. I feel like
this whole "I knew you were dumb" as a start, by the way, is a really big no starter. Yeah, I would have. I don't know. Oh, I won't even say what I would have said.
Well,
You're probably nice to him.
I told Noblet to calm his tits.
Calm your tits. Yep.
I said the point is you just can't throw players into a system and expect them to be a top 3 team. There has to be a lot of change within the system before we even get to that point. Throwing money at the problems doesn't fix the problems. You have to fix what's causing it to fail.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Fair.
I thought so, at least. Maybe zoom out and see where I'm at here. Chris, who's a fan of the show, makes a comment about the players making the switch over to soccer, and I said, "This is gonna be a lot of me saying I said," because I was knee deep in all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I said this is assuming that they'd naturally gravitate to soccer at young ages when there's baseball and basketball in play. There may be some residual growth, but loads of competition, and that's ignoring those who would flock to lacrosse, rugby, hockey, etc. Now, if Grok had said that soccer were the number 1 sport in America, I could agree because the culture would have developed. But there's no way to predict what would happen if football merely disappeared.
No way to predict it. And by the way, U.S. Youth soccer is the number 1 sport in America. So there's that.
Sure, yeah.
U.S. youth soccer is the biggest by a long ways. It's not even close. You cannot find a fucking baseball field anymore. Youths do not play baseball. There is one on Dazel Hell on the way north in Carmel you can find. But there used to be a baseball lot in every neighborhood in this country back in the 50s through the 1970s.
Oh, baseball's definitely lost ground, 100%.
Baseball's gone. Hockey's picked up steam. A lot of kids like hockey. But it's not big. It's not massive because hockey's an expensive sport. Very expensive. So no. Soccer's the biggest youth sport in the United States. Period. End of story. No debate.
Yeah. So Noblet continues by saying, we already had a real world experiment called women's soccer. There's basketball and softball, but no football. Soccer gets a huge chunk of its best women's athletes, and they are elite. You're just ignoring evidence to confirm your bias.
Well,
that's why I think you're dumb.
He's just a fucking idiot. This guy's a fucking moron, has never heard of Title IX, has no idea about the history of women's soccer and when it exploded and how it evolved from the 1970s because of Title IX. This guy's just a fucking, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. No, I'm not going to say it. He's
Dum-dum.
a fucking moron. He is a moron of the highest level.
Well, I
fucking idiot.
I did my best to educate him on that. I said, no, we get athletic women who have played soccer since they were 6 or 8 years old, playing against nations who barely funded women's programs until just recently, minus a couple of nations.
Yeah.
It's not that women lack football. It's that they've had Title IX since the 70s. Our women's team is great, but the rest of the world is catching up.
My guess is he didn't reply to that.
I don't believe he did, but I'll double check.
Because he's an idiot, Brett.
No,
he's a fucking idiot who doesn't know shit about his history of his own fucking. He doesn't know shit.
BMR's putting his best emperor voice in there. Instead of do it. He says say it. Say it. This was another one I had to pull up here, but he says one of the funniest things about the Lionel Messi wouldn't have been noticed if he played soccer in America is that the U.S. is the country that hyped up Freddie Adu, a small, quick, and technical wonder kid as potentially the next Pele.
How is that fucking funny? And here is another moron, same guy, who has no idea. Like, we know the ins and outs of Freddie Adu's trip. We know why he didn't succeed. And Freddie Adu has said it himself. He didn't care. He didn't try hard. He didn't put his life into it. He was basically thought it was all going to be given to him. He said that. He said it. Has nothing to do. Why is that funny? What's funny about it, Brett? What is his point? What is his point?
His point is that if Messi had played and developed in the U.S., that he would have been noticed, and he uses Freddie as an example. Here's a small, skilled, talented player who got noticed, and he became professional, et cetera, through MLS. Look at that. Hey, we're going to notice him. So I've got a video pulled up here, but I want to go over my comment first. So I said Hugo Perez called in a skinny, small, gifted player to the U14s when he coached U14s back in the day. He reached out to a number of MLS sides to come and scout him. They questioned his size and moved on. Lo and behold, Dortmund saw something in him and signed a scrawny player from Hershey, Pennsylvania. Assuming Messi would have still been Messi good if he developed statesides, he would have most certainly been scouted. Question is, would it have been MLS or would it have been Europe?
Europe.
Over the decades, MLS has scouted and signed some dynamic players. They've also missed some. I think that was a pretty reasonable response. I'm not calling him out being you're dumb for this reason. I'm saying, hey, U.S. scouting has been horrific in the past. It still is not that great, quite frankly. You're going to miss players. You're going to get some players. It's going to happen. Messi, if Messi was Messi in the United States, yes, he would have been scouted. I just don't know by who.
Yeah, I don't either. But I would just say this. Noblet's strength is way over his head. He should reclaim his name as Noblet Weak, because that's what he is. He's weak sauce. He doesn't know his history. He doesn't know this game. He's basically an idiot.
Yeah. Just
blabbering into the wind. There are plenty of those people. I can't believe you engaged him this much, but if I did, I would have hammered him.
I definitely criticized his reading comprehension ability a number of times. Only whenever he lashed out. You know, there have been a number of times where I've been responding to him, which was perfectly civil, quite frankly. And then, quite frankly, I think I've handled this well in the sense of not just lashing out at him. But no, I think he's an absolute idiot. Yeah. He's an idiot who acts like he knows what's best. And he might know some stuff. I'm not taking anything away from him by any means. I just think that the way he's addressing this shit, he's an idiot.
I bet you he knows a whole lot about jerking off, but probably not as much as I do.
So you're saying he's a master at it, right?
You know what? While I spend a lot of time thinking about how that should be accomplished, I spend a lot of time on thinking as well. All right. What else?
Here's a quick video clip of Hugo Perez basically paraphrasing mentioning what I just talked about. But I thought it's an interesting little short here.
When I was with the under-14 national team with the U.S., a name came up and this was Christian Pulisic. And they told us, this kid doesn't play for a big academy. He plays for PA Classics. So I said, let's bring him in. So we brought him in, and he was one of the smaller guys in the under 14s. And I said, look, this kid has a lot of potential, right? Let's keep him and let's surround him with people who are going to be physical and let him create, have the ball, give him the freedom to show what he can do with the ball. And we kept him, right? And I was surprised, to be honest with you, when he left for Borussia, because we had contacted some of the MLS teams and said, look, this kid, you have to get him in the radar, come and watch him, come and see him. But again, at that time, they were concentrated too much on the physical part. Mm. And obviously, we went to a couple of tournaments in Europe and they saw him play there. And the rest is history.
So I mean, Noblet can bring up Freddie Adu, which was about 22 years ago. Or you can talk about Pulisic at the under 14 level, which is about 14 years ago. And you have Hugo Perez, who's been in the industry, who's coached our youth national teams, coached El Salvador, and he's sitting here saying, "Yeah, we tried to get the scouts to come out and look at him, and they're just too focused on the physical aspect of it."
Yep.
So I mean, would Messi have been scouted by MLS?
No.
At the time when he was a young player,
maybe not.
Whatever, 18 years ago or so. No, probably not.
Probably not.
Maybe, probably not.
Probably not. Yep.
So,
all right.
That's a fun little tangent. While we're talking, we're going to move on to the national team here. So, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, do you want to do Yanks abroad first?
No, I'm done.
Okay. All right. This is our main some of our main topic here. While we're talking about Pulisic has opened up about his time with his ex, Alexa Melton. I don't know if you want to cover this real quick.
Very quick. She wanted me to enjoy my life a little more, i.e., she wanted him a little bit more hanky-panky, I'm guessing. But anyhow, that's the raw version of it. I have a specific way of thinking about performance. What is he talking about? Soccer or? Because I've always wanted to be closer to the training ground.
Her training pitch? Is that what he's saying? Her training pitch?
Is he saying he needs to have less sex so he can be ready for the training ground? Because that's my work, and that's what I want to do every single day. Not necessarily give you the Pulisic hot sausage, which will, delete my performance or negate my performance. Mm-hmm. It helps me in a lot of ways. It's also made me miserable at times. Oh my god.
Well, I mean, the guy's a freaking introvert, and he was dating a girl who was very much an extrovert.
Yeah,
and I mean, she's like, hey, let's go on a let's go down to Africa and go check out a safari or something like that. And he's like, nah, I just want to take a couple more PKs.
She was a lot of fun. And she supported me in every way, especially when I was on top. Yes. Because you do need some
support, yeah.
Some support there. I only look at her in the most positive way. I bet he only remembers the most positive things. Yeah. So I mean, definitely a different take than what Alexa posted a month or so back, before she walked it back and said, "Okay, guys, taking this out of context, let's not do this anymore." John says she definitely does anal.
Tony says he could not handle her. Could you imagine if the rumors about Sydney Sweeney were true? Couldn't handle Alexa. Good Lord, that would have been broken.
You never know. I mean, listen, some of the smaller girls can take you for a ride, dude. I'm just saying. I mean, you don't have to be. Some of the big ones are less energetic.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about definitely on the anal thing, but quite possibly she does like to have fun. Just depends on your definition of fun, I suppose.
There's a back in the day. There's an article they talked about how girls in college, obviously getting their degrees and stuff like that, were more inclined to have anal because they didn't want to take the chance of getting pregnant while they were going through their degree.
We've already done that on our show, Brett. I did have a date one time, long time ago.
Colin, good Lord, dude.
Who told me as we headed to the bedroom that she was a Christian, so she could only have anal sex. And I said, okay. That's fine with me. I'm fine with that.
Bmar wants to know her name. What's her name, Derek?
I'm not telling you her name. I probably gave her name out when we talked about it the first time 4 years ago or 8 years ago or whatever.
Feel free to dig through all of our live streams, and I'm sure you'll find her name somewhere.
Yeah, I hope you don't find it because I was really bad at that early in the show. I was just blurting out names of my girlfriends and etc. So hopefully
was it Mary? Was it Mary?
No, definitely. I've never dated a Mary.
Wasn't Mary?
No, not a Debbie.
Bmar says he'll be right back.
I'm gonna go grab a Canada Dry. Let's get this last part done.
Got a couple of tabs left. We're almost done. Don't worry, Derek. You can go to bed, you old fogey. Gio to the Athletic. Let's see. He was asking about if he's done enough to make the U.S. men's national team roster in 2026. So Gio, as Derek's returning, because I don't want to necessarily cover this topic without him here to hear this statement, and Derek's pulling up right now. There he is. Whether or not Gio did enough to make the 2026 World Cup, he says, if I say no, I'm not backing myself. And if I say yes, I'm arrogant. It's a hard question to answer. I love the staff, players, and the national team. Whatever happens, happens. I really want to be there, but the decision is out of my hands. I'm just hoping and waiting for the call-up. It would be an honor.
So the only thing I got out of all this is, you ready? Hard staff. Hardened staff.
Okay, I was looking where the hard question was. I'm like, where's hard? Oh, there it is. Okay.
My hands.
What happens, happens.
And whatever happens. Yeah, no.
And it would be an honor.
Yes, it's a good answer, by the way, in general. Yeah, he's saying, I'd like to be there. I believe in me.
Yeah.
But if I'm not there, hey,
Well, what else can I do?
It is what
it is.
Now, based on that game that he played 2 games ago, I was super impressed. And I think the last 30 minutes he played was pretty good too. Not great, not as good as the last one, but what he did and what he provided in the passes and the vision in the game, not this last weekend, but the weekend before, made me go, okay, this is why Gladbach needs to play this guy at least 30 minutes a game. Well, he got 23 instead of 30.
Not only playing for 30 minutes a game, but playing in a more advanced role. The bulk of his minutes this season has been him playing very defensively.
Yeah. So let's hope that continues. The question being, has he earned his way? Well, I mean, there's no way to know that for sure. That's on Poach, but I think he has at least reached out and poked Poach and said, look what I can do in 30 minutes. You need me 30 minutes in a World Cup? I can do that.
I think given his performance in November, comments Poach made after that, now mind you, he didn't get much playing time in March. I get it. But given the comments that Poach made about Gio, and he's like, hey, that sometimes there's players who aren't necessarily playing for their club teams, but they're a difference maker. But now the past couple games, he's managed to pick up, some more minutes leading into the World Cup. And I would honestly be kind of surprised at this point if Poach doesn't call him in. Given all of what I just said, quite frankly. It's possible he might not. Don't get me wrong. It's almost impossible to predict what Poach is going to do.
It is. I think he's going to be there. I do think the fact that now he's getting the 23, 30 minutes, 27, whatever you want to call it. I'm just rounded up to 30. Like last two games, and I think you're going to see him now more since they've secured, they're not going to get relegated. Yeah, play him 30 minutes a game, every game. Maybe give him a start here and there. I really thought he might get a start in this last game.
Well, I mean, his season's done.
Is it over?
It's over, yeah.
Okay.
It's playoff time, baby.
Yeah. What do you mean? Oh.
Wolfsburg versus Paderborn.
Yeah, so that's going to be really interesting, right? Because you've got Paredes, who's been riding Pine. I mean, he did get one start there in one game, but he's riding Pine. And then you got Castaneda, who's a regular starter for Paderborn. That'll be fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Really fun. But yeah, it's over. So now it's really going to be up to Poach. Was he impressed by those 60 or so minutes in those two games? I was super impressed by one of the two games. But that's what he can give you, right? So, yeah.
And again, I think Poach's take on Gio was more or less solidified anyways. I just think the extra minutes here, the goal he scored, I think that's just it's just icing on top of the cake.
It is.
Cherry on top, let me rephrase that.
He was already half erect about Reyna, and now he is even more erect. Maybe not fully erect about Reyna, but I think, you can see, okay, yeah, the things I think about Reyna are true. I watched it happen in this game. This kid can deliver the through passes. He can make important passes. He's got vision. That was all evident. The only thing I would complain about, Brett, is that why, and it could have been that he was asked, as you say, to play much deeper before. I wish we could have seen this all season with Mönchengladbach. Like, there's just really no reason except for the manager is super, 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 super conservative and didn't want to lose. He'll take a tie. And if he wins, fine, but he's not going to lose. That was his whole philosophy all season. I'm not losing. I'm going to take a tie. I'll take a 0-0 tie, but I'm not losing. What's his philosophy all season?
You kind of, I mean, as much as it sucks for Gladbach and it sucks for Gio in that sense, you kind of have to give him credit to some extent, despite the fact that Gladbach had such a horrific start to the season.
Yes,
he only finished 9 points out of getting a Europa spot.
Yeah, I mean, he turned it around. I mean,
that's impressive.
Listen, I'm not blaming him because if I had been thrown into the situation he was after that horrible start,
yeah,
I would have done the same thing. I would have said, let's just gain points. That's what we need to do. Win the occasional game, tie every other game, all of them. But we are never going to lose. We're going to tie every game or win an occasional here and there, but we're not losing, and we're not going to get relegated because we're in the relegation zone, and that's how we're playing the rest of the season. That is horrible for a player like Reyna, who's an offensive player. Like, that's a horrible situation to get into because you're not a guy who's going to play DM, defensive midfielder, right? So not great situation for him to get in, and for them to have such a horrible start to the season meant they're going to shut down shop, play for 0-0s, score points, and an occasional win against the lower table teams who suck. Some of them suck. You get those points there, an occasional win or tie against the big boys, and you're not threatened with relegation.
The way that I would approach, let's just say you want to be conservative and you're throwing Gio in maybe for the last 10, 15, 20, maybe an occasional 30 minutes here or whatever. The way that I would address it is I would have whomever you got playing striker up at striker. Then I'd have Gio just underneath him and then go defensive with everybody else. And then
I agree with you.
Your immediate outlet is going to be Gio, who's going to hold on to the ball and distribute out and bring people into the game. Or maybe make that initial quick through ball, but get him up higher. You don't want him collecting the ball just outside your 18. He makes one pass, and all of a sudden they're back on defense again.
I'm
You want them further
so
up.
with you on this. Brett, you could have played a 4-4-1-1
Yeah.
or a 3-5-1-1 all fucking season and still had Reyna play every game. You could have, but I guess you have to prove yourself first, which he needed to do. He needed to be fit, which he wasn't at the beginning of the season. That was clear in the reports. So starting wasn't a thing. And then when you're playing at the beginning of the season, you're down, you're down 3-0 like they were. In some cases, they weren't even in the game. So, it was a frustrating season for everybody who wanted to see something more from Reyna. This probably wasn't the situation he thought. Nobody thought Gladbach were going to start that bad. Nobody did. And they did. And then they shut down shop. They're like, that's it. Super conservative. A 5-4-1. We're playing super conservative. We're playing 5 in the back or a 3 in the back, however you want to categorize it. But yeah. And that meant his services were not really necessary. And as the season is loosened up, as they have obviously made themselves free from that worry, he's playing 30 minutes a game now. So maybe this is a positive as it goes into the next season, as they sort of revamp the team and decide how they want to play next season. Surely they do not want to continue to play like this, because it is a horrible game to watch. The way they play sucks. It's boring. I hate watching Gladbach games. It's atrocious soccer. It's boring soccer. I want to see what I watched 2 weekends ago when Reyna had freedom and got to do some of the special things we know he can do. So there we go.
Yeah. Colin says giving Gio nobody to combine with is not a good use of his skill set. Who's he supposed to pass with?
Center forward.
That'd be the quick through ball option, right? You get the ball turn and make that quick through ball. But no, you'd collect the. I mean, as your team defensively stops the play and moves the ball out, finds Gio. I mean, he's already going to be looking back at their own goal anyways. So he's going to be looking out quickly wide or back to a defensive midfielder and move off of him. The problem is that every time that he played prior to this, he was sitting so far back that they get the ball, they pass it, he'd make one pass and then start making the move forward, and then all of a sudden it's dispossession. They're still back in their defensive third. He's a creative-minded player. You got to give him the opportunity to get up in the attack a little bit. When Gladbach doesn't play, we've been talking about it, they're very conservative. They sat back a lot of the games, especially when they went up a goal.
So if you're playing a 3-5-2, he was stuck in the 5, not the 2.
Yeah.
All season long. So, and if you're playing in a 3-5-1-1, then Reyna has the option. You would think of the 5 in the 3-5-1-1, he would have somebody to work with from the midfield too, springing forward. So it wouldn't just be Reyna in the center forward; it'd be hopefully another midfielder.
Well, you'd imagine that your two center mids aren't going to be camping back with the center backs, so immediately you'd have at least one of them. Once you get a hold of the ball, you collect it. Within a second or two, you'd have options to pass off to.
Yeah, for certain. I mean, we're talking about a 3-5-2, which they played, or a 3-4-3. You should have something like a 3-4-3. You only have 2 midfielders, real midfielders, so that's an issue. But with a 3-5-2, and you're playing or a 3-5-1-1, you should have somebody in the midfield to work with coming out of and into a counter. But that's not really what Gladbach did a lot of the season. They just played really sturdy defense, and when they got possession, they kicked it around a lot. They didn't really do anything with it. Just kicked it around. They didn't really play. They didn't hit you hard, quickly. We're seeing more of that in the last 2 games, but that's because they're not going to get relegated, so they can play freer. All right.
Exactly.
We already
talked about this. Basically,
yeah.
They've continued their conversation with Okay Banks. We'll see what happens. The roster is apparently supposed to be released on Tuesday.
Yep.
Now, I don't know if that means tomorrow or if that means next Tuesday. I don't know. Is it tomorrow? Because people kept talking about it being Tuesday, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, we got a couple days. Why is it always on Tuesday? But then I'm like, oh shit, today's Monday. And somebody had mentioned above that the rosters have to be released to FIFA within 3 days. So that's okay. So apparently it's next Tuesday.
I'm highly skeptical of this. Very highly skeptical. And then, as BMR says, do we really want him anyhow? Yeah, I'm not happy with his confusion this late in the game. And I think it was brought on by calls from the German camp.
Yeah.
And then he's had to eat humble pie since at Augsburg. And so maybe now he's ready to change his mind. Like, oh, maybe I'm not as great as I thought I was.
So there's a scene in Remember the Titans that this kind of reminds me of, where in the match before the finals or whatever, before state, you know, they're getting all the fouls called on them because it's being rigged. And Petey mentions, hey, you know, they're calling holding on me all the time. And he's like, hey, you know, if you want to be a star, give me a star performance. And he fucks off. And during the finals, Petey comes up with, hey, I want to play for the finals. And he's like, you'll start for me next season. You know, you can show me that you want to support your team here. It's kind of the same mentality here that with No Kai Banks is that, hey, if you want to play for the U.S., you can show me by, you know, showing up next year, you know, next cycle.
Yeah, I mean, Sugar says he's just a kid. Yes, he is. At the same time, he's got a lot of people giving him advice. And I get his... If you get a call from the German manager, which is how I understood it happened, saying, hey, don't commit yourself so early. You know, you might be a future German national team player. I can understand taking that to heart. And I also can understand, since then, not playing 5 or 6 games in a row and being benched, maybe saying to yourself, eating a bit of humble pie and saying, maybe I got fed a little bit of bullshit. And now I want to play. But he's not going to play that much in the World Cup, even if he comes, I don't think.
It's maybe not even that he got that little bullshit or anything like that, but maybe he's looking at it at the club level and saying, well, I got sidelined immediately for like the last 6 games. What are the odds that I can do this consistently and still make the German team compared to I'm pretty much going to be a lock start option moving forward for the U.S.
Moving forward, but yeah, not really a German player going forward. Right? That's got to be what he's thinking. Okay. I got fed some flowers. I'm now looking at the bouquet. It's shredding up. It's dwindling. It's dying. And maybe I got fed a little bit of horse shit. And maybe reality's kicking in. Let's get on the phone with Poach. Let him know I had my moment, but I've made up my mind.
And ultimately, it's going to come down. It's Poach's decision.
Yeah.
I mean, if he feels more confident bringing in somebody who's been to one camp, hasn't played a minute for the U.S. men's national team, it's his choice to make. And if he does, and he gets capped during the World Cup, then I guess more power to us in the end. But the question is going to be for fans is whether or not he's earned a spot for that national team given circumstances.
I like John's point here. I hate when people infantize adults. I agree. It is a little annoying for me. I think he knew, but I think he got swayed by those phone calls. And yeah, when you're young, or even when you're even a little older than 18, 19, you can get swayed. Your ego can be corrupted.
Oh.
So,
I don't know about you, Derek, but I made a lot of stupid decisions, a lot of immature, stupid decisions throughout college and past college, and hell, last week.
Yeah, no. I agree with that. I don't think we're infantizing them, though.
No, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
no,
I
I don't,
just-
think, I don't think he's talking about us. There's some people will say, "Oh, he's just a kid. He's just a kid. He's just
Yeah,
a kid."
he's not.
Well, he's a grown ass fucking adult, and he
Yeah.
can make his decisions. Now, mind you, he may make rash decisions, and we talk about other dual nats who make rash
or
decisions.
bad decisions.
Yeah.
I don't know how rash. It seems a little rash. Could be.
Well,
rash.
this
Yeah.
one we've been trying to hedge his bets, everything. But like when we talk about like Jonathan Gonzalez as an example, that was a rash decision to make that quick of a change, and then all of a sudden,
Yes.
where the fuck you been? Where the fuck you been?
I don't think this is rash in the sense that no decision was made. I think the decision was, I'm going to wait and see.
Yeah.
And now I think wait and see is like, yeah, I think I'm done waiting. I'm done seeing.
The sad thing is
Yeah.
that wait and see time period that ended within a month. We're talking about we just had a camp a little over a month ago.
Yeah.
About a month and a half or whatever it was. But
Right.
it's like, oh, bro. I mean, you flip flop that quickly.
Yeah, it is a little questionable how quick this decision happened as well. A little questionable.
I think missing out on pretty much every game since the March window for Augsburg, I think kind of scared the shit out of him.
Oh, it did.
This is me just
No, you're
shit
right.
out of the sky. I think it scared the shit out of him because he's like,
It did.
well, I mean, there's no chance in hell I'm ever going to be on the German national team if I can't fucking crack the Augsburg team consistently.
Yes. I think these last 6 games where he's been riding pine, most of the games, and off of one really bad performance has made him realize how vulnerable he is. And that Augsburg, despite the fact that they were happy for him to start most of the games this season, saw a major flaw in his game and decided he wouldn't be starting going forward. That's got to be some amount of humble pie you're eating there. A little bit of it you have to be eating. And with that, you have to also be saying, maybe I jumped the gun on the German national team thing. Maybe I am an American national team player, which he always was and has said prolifically and demonstratively through his career. My dream is to play with the American national team.
Winning trophies for the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah. So something fuck with him. Obviously, we know what that is. And
well, I mean, that comment that you quoted there was literally months before the March window. We're talking about like this was like September or October that he made that quote.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what really rubbed everybody the wrong way is that you had this immediate flip flop. It was just after it was around September because he immediately became a starter, and at that point you stopped hearing anything about U.S. men's national team. He didn't get called into any other camps. Skipped out in the March window.
He did 3 interviews where he said, "I don't want to talk about it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was a flip flop in that sense, and you know maybe in this is the issue with dual nats and stuff like that. Maybe he's thought grass is greener over here, but then over here he still had all of his friends that he grew up playing with U.S. youth national
which he
teams.
talked about a lot.
Yeah.
He used to talk about, I love the guys I played with.
Yeah.
And now they're on the national team and I want to play with them. Okay, well, here's your shot.
Real quickly for $1.99, Frank Kessler says, it's been a while, gents. Love the show.
Good to have you back, Frank.
And last comment before you jump onto that again. If he does come in, his first game will probably be against Germany. LOL.
And he won't play. He's not going to
That
start.
would be funny. Well, start now.
No. He'll be an option.
That'd be funny though.
But regardless of what you think of Tim Ream, I do believe he's starting the first game, and I do believe it's Richards and either McKenzie or Trusty as center back.
Yeah, I mean,
whether you like it or not, that's probably what's happening. Just saying, I've
really liked what I've seen from Trusty with the U.S. men's national team recently. So I'd like to see him get a nod.
It will probably be Ream, Richards, and Trusty in that back 3, unless we go and play back 4.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. I do think Ream's playing. I know people hate it. They don't like it. Just saying, it's poach, people. I do think
No, Turner. Well, I mean, if you've watched the number of flubs that Turner's had over the past couple of weeks, man.
Well, he's actually played pretty well up until those flubs. But
I know, right?
We don't need flubs all of a sudden.
But I mean, that's the mentality factor that's going to kick in. It doesn't matter all season if he's been balling, but he's had a flub or two right there before the World Cup. That's what's going to be sticking in his mind. Don't fuck up. Don't fuck up. Don't fuck up. Don't fuck up.
Well, regardless of whoever the goalkeeper is, guess what? That thing you just said, don't fuck up, don't fuck up, don't fuck up.
Exactly right.
That's going to be in their mind. Whether it's Freeze or Turner, they're going to be haunted by the don't fuck up.
Neither options really blow me away, but I have more confidence in Freeze, quite frankly, at this point.
And it is sad that this is where we are in a country that used to develop some of the best goalkeepers in the world, but it is where we are. So
last thing to cover in this entire show, we're going to be done. We talked about this earlier in the show, but Sammy had a nice little goal celebration to win the match. I just wanted to bring it up here. I don't know if I can play it though because it's MLS.
No, you really can't. So
he scores a goal. Oh, and they're throwing beers at him. They're God. You know, and he turns around. Oh, here's an unopened beer.
Grabs the beer. Not going to suck 32's dick. He's going for the beer.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't Modelo. So there's a picture of him walking out of a liquor store with like 3 6-packs of Modelo. So I was wondering why that was really going around. That's funny. That's funny. I like this kid more and more now.
No, I like the kid. There's no doubt he is one of the fastest motherfuckers on any pitch he gets on.
Sam, I will flat out tell you this right now. Just go ahead and shave the hair, man. Just shave it off.
Yeah, just you're what, 22?
Yeah, you should not be looking like you're 42 right now.
Yeah.
Just shave that off, buddy.
Just get it off.
I need drinks. Chug. So somebody's like, oh, and then he shotgunned a beer. I'm like, man, my friends would get smacked over the head if they shotgunned a beer like this.
Yeah, that's more like just pouring it on your face.
Yeah, it's just a screw you to San Jose.
God, he does have a hairline of a 50-year-old.
Seriously, man, just shave that stuff off, buddy.
Give up early.
Still, I love it. That's great.
I do like it. And I will say Sam Sarver is probably one of the fastest players in MLS. He's a fast fucker. And I hope he can turn that speed into something deadly on a regular basis.
Is he going to be the American? Was it? Is his name Schellenberg from Canada?
Yeah, he's faster than Schaffelberg, I think.
Oh, Schaffelberg, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he might be old spaghetti tendons there.
Gat.
He might be a Josh Gat. Yep.
Well, hopefully without the spaghetti tendons.
Without the spaghetti tendons, yes.
Wow.
We'll
Dale
see.
brought it home. He says, "Is that Elton John?"
Goodbye,
it did look like 70s Elton John, didn't it, man?
It did a little bit.
Derek, our short show tonight lasted almost 250 minutes or 2 hours and 50 minutes.
We're idiots. That's why.
You're just like, yeah, it'll be a short show. It'll be a short show. No, it's never a short show.
It's never a short show.
Never,
we should know better. Anyhow, he's a rocket man. It's a spider slot. I don't know what he says after Rocket Man. Do you?
No.
Rocket Man.
I know.
Don't know what any of that is. Don't know. It's worse than Eddie Vedder on that one. All right. I think we're out of here, guys. We will see you next Monday. And then during the World Cup, we will be back multiple times. Maybe not just Monday, Thursday, but could be Monday, Wednesdays. Just depends on when the game is. The games are on.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll be here, folks, a lot more during the World Cup. Stay tuned. Spread the news. Tell people about it. Link the fucking show and post it up on your fucking Twitter page and say, you dumb motherfuckers not watching this show. You should be.
Somebody had posted like, hey, who are you going to be watching when you watch the World Cup games? When you mute the channel, who are you going to be listening to? And he mentioned, Tack Pete. They mentioned our show. They mentioned a couple other people. And I said, hey, listen to the Straight Red Card. We're slightly more offensive than any other podcast this side of the Mississippi, maybe the Rockies.
Yes. I don't know. I don't think we're that offensive unless you got a really tender vittles constitution.
I don't know. U.S. Men's National Team prospect thought you were very offensive talking about lube all the time.
Oh, well, that dude's as soft as a fucking pussy fart. A wet pussy fart. All right. We'll be back. See you Monday, guys. Good night.
That hurt. Welcome to the post-match press conference of the match between...
Sometimes people have sex in different ways. 69. And one way is a type of sex called oral sex.
It's really good.
I don't particularly enjoy it.
Set the right tone, set the standards.
No, it's not one of my favorites.
And knowledge and also experience from different people. And
Only if you're doing it right.
I am very good.
Every man thinks he knows which positions women love, but most are completely wrong.